Staten in the Bronx. Manhattan, Queens, what you want? We want the Knicks. We want the Knicks. We want the Knicks. We want the Knicks. Brooklyn, Staten in the Bronx. Manhattan, Queens, what you want? We want the Knicks. We want the Knicks. We want the Knicks. We want the Knicks. New York City, New York, If the Knicks is in the Mecca, yeah, let me hear you give it up. If the Knicks is in the Mecca, yeah, let me hear you give it up. If the Knicks is in the Mecca, yeah, let me hear you give it up. If the Knicks is in the Mecca, yeah, let me hear you give it up. We back, we back, we back, we back, we back. This is New York City, home of the Knicks, baby. Yeah, we back on track. The Mecca's going crazy. Rim rocking, shot blocking, boy, we are not stopping. Aiming at that chip with a bullseye on the target. It's been so many years, that's how bad we really want it. From the city to the garden, we all be blue and orange. And everybody starving, hell yeah, hungry for a ring. Got a team full of hungry hoopers all going in. We back.
A minute remaining. Brunson at three. Bam! Jalen Brunson does it again. Timeout.
Que lo que, mi gente. What's good with y'all? Appreciate you guys out here being with us. You know what it is. It's your boy, Ruel. 1/4 of the host over here, the Organic Fanatics. We appreciate you guys for joining us today. I got the squad, my brother with me. The other usual suspects might trickle in. They got a lot of stuff happening. We're trying to make sure we're consistent for you guys out here. But I got the new Knicks. He's in the background. He might jump in a second here. New Knicks is definitely in the building. We appreciate you guys here. Thank you for joining us in F Around and Find Out, or Fuck Around and Find Out Fridays. You know what it is. It's we got a little special show today. It's a little bit different. You know what I'm saying? We got a lot going on. We got about a week. I want to say close to a week before trade deadline. Trade deadline is February 5th. We're talking about our New York Knickerbockers, which we love. It's about that name in the front of the jersey. You know what it is. We got everybody coming around. We just played the Brooklyn Nets. That game, after a 9-game slide, we were 2-9 out of 11 games. A lot of turmoil. Allegedly, there was a player-only meeting. Josh Hart said that there was no player, that somebody just took that and ran with it. So I got to take it with him as what he said. Probably not an individual team meeting, but they probably just hashed it out and, aired out whatever grievances, if any, that they had. Seems like they got on the right ship for, salute Daniel Bear Sports. Salute to you. Appreciate you guys. Everybody in the chat, put something in the chat so I can recognize you if you're in the chat. Live game, replay. Appreciate you guys. So a little bit interesting. The team had their little powwow, allegedly. They talked about it. You heard Mike Brown in the post conference as well, talking about that he talked with his other coaches. They're trying to simplify it. Maybe he gave too much. Maybe they're, too much change in the beginning. So we played the Brooklyn Nets. We played them after all that. A lot of drama, a lot of talking out there. We basically destroyed the team. That was the highest win, points, and victory that we've had in the history of the Knickerbockers, by 54 points. Salute to New Knicks. What up, New Knicks? Got to talk to them. Let them know what up. The intro.
Yeah, what's poppin', TOF family? Welcome back. It's Phone for Friday. Fuck around and find out. Welcome back, bro. You could have been anywhere else in the world, but you're here rocking and vibing out with us. TOF family, shout out to my brother, shout out to Ruel, shout out to Machete, shout out to Two Shot, shout out to Mike the Specialist. And we here, chopping it up. Salute to the chat, salute to the live gang, salute to everybody.
Appreciate you guys.
Let's talk about it.
So, I was just kind of giving the intro while you came in that the Knicks, we were on a downward slide. We lost 9 games out of 11, so we were 2-9. Went on a major slide, at least 5 straight. And then between that, us viewing, crashing out, allegedly there was reports of a players only meeting. Josh Hart said after the game that was somebody made that up. So could that have been?
Yeah.
Maybe he was just trying to nip it in the bud. Who knows? But
Nah, he sounded very annoyed. I mean, maybe they had like a little chatty patty powwow, but it wasn't like a full. Yeah, I mean,
yeah, they
niggas
wasn't.
was just in there yelling at each other. Yeah, I mean,
Yeah. I don't.
fuck you, you dribble too much. Yo, you can't shoot shit. Da 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 da.
I agree. I don't think it was something like we're gonna meet at the house at 7 p.m. Everybody, I don't think it was anything like that either. I don't think it was, the meeting of the five families. It wasn't. I don't think it was anything like that. So I agree with you. I think it was just them just talking it out. Yo, what do we got to do? Exit sign.
I'm close to it.
Yeah,
I'm
my brother,
close to
he
it.
he's on the ledge and ready to exit.
No, I'm saying I'm close to the exit sign because there's a few people that might need to exit.
Okay.
It's not for me. I've been here since '74. Me not going nowhere.
No
But
good.
somebody is.
All right, so we talked about it. So let's talk about the game first, and then we'll go into all the speculations that we're talking about. So obviously, as I was saying earlier, we got maybe a week and a half, 2 weeks, less than 2 weeks before February 5th. So about a week and a half, 2 weeks before the trade deadline.
To your calculations, you said Sunday, so we're 2 days away.
Yeah, I said something. I think something should happen by Sunday.
You're
And
going to stick to
I'm sticking to it. Listen. I agree. We're going for it. And allegedly, with some of the notices that I put in the chat, I could be on point. Someone pinpointed today. I called it last week. I said, I hear things.
Give it till Sunday.
We'll see. I don't know. So we're talking. They had their little powwow. You know what I'm saying? They aired out their feelings. You know what I'm saying? They said what they had to say. They said, and Mike Brown said, "Do your effing job." I don't know if that was the right approach, but he's his job's on the line, so he had to get something. He had to get something from them. Do your effing jobs. He also said after the game that he and his coaches, maybe they overcomplicated. Maybe they got to figure some things out and, maybe make it a little more simpler for them. Who knows?
Well, I mean, the defensive coach looks like he was never signed or on board with any schemes because they've been missing in action for at least 3-4 weeks.
Well, if we're going to be real, the entire year. There's been no defense the entire year.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
minus the last couple of games. Now, we did play the Brooklyn Nets, who are the second to last, if not the last team offensively, one of the youngest teams in the NBA. We've had their number ever since Knicks Claxton said, I haven't lost to the Knicks. Thank you, Nick Claxton, for that juju. Ever since then, we're undefeated. Thank you, sir. Yo, your Wi-Fi's on? See if your Wi-Fi's on. See if your Wi-Fi's on. Is your Wi-Fi on? Because it's buffering a little bit. So anyway, ever since he said that, we rolling. You know what I'm saying? So salute to Nick Claxton for that. But anyway, we played that game. That was a game that we had. It was basically a must-win. So if we didn't win that game, something was going to happen. Somebody's getting traded. Somebody's getting fired. Something like that. We had to look at some of that. So that game, we came out with a purpose. We came out with a vengeance. The Knicks came with a lot of energy, a lot of purpose. We had the first quarter. We had 38 points to their 20. So good defense, good offense. You saw the offense was something that I was looking at the beginning of the first quarter to see how we're going to play because that looked like it's been broken. We ended up dropping to almost 28th in the NBA. So for that is a little bit crazy. So we had 38 to their 20 first quarter, great numbers. And then second quarter we dropped off a little. It was down to 22 and 18. So that was a little, figure that out. And then we got back on it again, third quarter 28 to 18 and then 32 to 10. We beat them by 54 points, which was definitely something that had to happen. We had to win that game. If we don't win that game against the Brooklyn Nets, as the new Knicks called it and the logo he created for them, if we would have lost to the Brooklyn Nets, it would have been over. I mean, you would have seen something happen. But even before that game, Go ahead.
It would have been a private jet at fucking center court for Mike Brown. But they would have put that nigga on a fucking mini private jet center court,
Private jet.
drone him.
Nah, he would have been in a Delta, a Spirit Airlines. He would have been commercial flight. He would have been on basic freaking Sprint. No, you don't need to check no luggage. You going just right out of here. So it's been an uproar in you, Knicks. You've been saying you haven't been happy with Mike Brown. He started doing pretty good. He went on a 10-game streak. You ended up changing his name. You were calling him Gooch in the beginning. You said you weren't feeling him. He had to do something. We went on a 10-game win. You said, you know what? In these 10 games, I gave him an A. I'm going to promote his name from Coach Gooch to Brizzle. And then we had the 9 to 11 game slide. And then you gave him the Coach Gooch again. A lot of people, so there's rumors. There's rumors of players being traded. There's rumors of Mike Brown, the firing. Tell me what got you to thinking that way of Mike Brown, or does Mike Brown fit? Can Mike Brown fix anything here?
I didn't like Mike Brown since he paired up with LeBron in Cleveland. That was his only. I'm just being honest. Like anybody that fucks with that boy, I'm allergic. That's like selfish to me. I'll try to stay away from that shit. So that's like re-signing a Fizdale 2.0. I knew it was like that. Yeah, I mean, and I should have stuck to my gut feeling, even with that 10-point run. Because I knew the inevitable was going to happen, but I try to be optimistic since I miss all of the games in the beginning of the season because this nigga was on my team.
You got it.
So at least I tried. You know what I mean? Let's see what happens. It was bullshit competition. Oh, we beat 54 points, no record. All of that shit is like you said on the chat. Man, not with it.
So let's go right now. So we got 2 weeks. I don't think they gave him a 5-year contract, which we're gonna talk into other things. So specifically on Mike Brown right now. Mike Brown. He's basically 50. He's like at 500 right now. He had a bunch of wins. We won the NBA Cup, which is something. And then he came in at losing streaks. Again, some of the players weren't gelling either. So it was up to him to kind of fix that. We said that. Does he have a way to salvage the remainder of this season? Considering you saw how we played against Brooklyn. We played earlier in the season where we were dominating one of the most highest scoring offenses. We got the most potent starting five that we had since last year. Is there something that maybe he can adjust, tweak, bring down? Do you think he can salvage it in any way?
Yeah, if he loses to any team by less than 54 points, I think he should be out of here. We should, if we're not beating every team by 54 or better, I don't know. I mean, it looks like the guys got it together, like I've been saying since the beginning of the season. This team should run on autopilot. They've all been under Tibbs. Cat just walked in, but he's been under Tibbs for 3-4 years. So everybody knows Tibbs and his system. Everyone. So this team is an autopilot team. It should be automatic. But when you insert some bullshit into some shit and start fucking making niggas start over from scratch instead of saying, damn, what did Tibbs do right and had them going like this? Research, do his homework and do the research before he even opened his mouth about his system. And then implement the right things to do. And there was only two things he had to come here to do. Was open the rotation up a little more to get the guys rest and a little bit more schemes on offense. That was about it.
And that,
You know
that's
what I mean?
and that's something that I haven't seen. That's I think something I was complaining. You were right. Like him opening up the rotation was good. Some pride may be in there where coaches want to do their own home thing and they don't want to stick to what the other person did. But like as you said, sometimes you got to suck it up. Like this guy was good at something. He came from a bunch of different coaches that I thought some of that pedigree would have rubbed off, like Pop or anything like that. But as you said, if he learned something from or something that was working with Tibbs, use some of that at least in spurts. Doesn't have to be the whole system.
Yeah, well, I'm gonna take it from what Matt Barnes said. Salute to the chat. Salute
Yeah, salute
everybody.
to Spike Lee. Not it's Spike Lee. Salute to you. Appreciate you in the chat. Go ahead. So you
All
were
right, Spike Lee saying salute to the general. Fucking but I'm gonna say what Matt Barnes said. Matt Barnes
It's
played.
Spike Lee. Not Spike Lee. Spike Lee.
Okay.
He looks like Spike Lee.
Salute to Spike Lee. Um, So I'm gonna take it from what Matt Barnes said when Phil Jackson stepped away from the Lakers. I think it was Kobe's last year or his previous to last year, where he was playing with Matt Barnes and a bunch of dogs and veterans. Yeah, I mean, and Mike Brown came in and met a world peace. So Mike Brown came in and they said, "Yo, we're gonna." They did what Kyrie and KD wanted to do, fucking coach themselves, because Kobe was coming in and out whenever he wanted. Meta World Peace was coming in and out as however he wanted. They wasn't paying attention to him. And what Matt Barnes said, we did great the year before. So what we did was we stuck with the defense and the shit that we had that was working, and we kept that. You know what I mean? You should know this as a 7+ year player in the NBA. You should know, damn, let's keep Tibbs' system, you know what I mean? But do these little tweaks that we know we could do automatically. You feel what I'm saying? So, and like Matt Barnes said, they didn't respect Brown because, I mean,
That was a while ago too. But can he implement some of that now? That was years later. Can he correct that now and implement? I mean, it's still early in the season. I think he can to a certain extent. Like he has to, because allegedly too. Salute to Ramona and ESPN. I forgot her last name, but anyway, I think Raw mentioned it too. But she also said that somebody said you need to make this work. It was more than likely Dolan. When that happened, they say y'all got to make this work and figure it out. And it's up to him. He said that's why he said maybe we should simplify it. They gave too much. I mean, the number one thing, look, and that's why if you're looking at the thumbnail of this show, that I put it for this show on there, it was a game that we basically dominated. Cat had 30 points, 10 rebounds. You had OG Anunoby with 40 points, and you had Jalen Brunson with 20 points and 10 assists in that game. That's a game. That's a formula that can work. We've done it before, so it's not that you need to get rid of Cat that it doesn't work. We worked last year. It was smooth. We dominated many teams last year. They just needed a little bit of help. So to get rid of any of the starting five, I don't agree with getting rid of Cat in any way. I think Cat is the championship piece that we need. You just have to know how to play it. You know what I'm saying? You just got to get the players in and involved in it. So I think Mike Brown has to learn to use it. You already know what Brunson can give you. The captain can come in and give you 30 in the first quarter if you want it. It's up to Mike Brown to get these other players to work. He has Cat doing too much. He needs to use the pop system he learned from Popovich and play Cat like Tim Duncan. They ran the offense through Tim Duncan and Manu Ginobili and Parker adjusted to him because they had enough game that you just run it through Duncan. And I think that's how Mike Brown has to figure out how to play Cat. Run the offense through Cat. If you looked at the game against Brooklyn, he did that. They were finding Cat early from when you saw Josh get him in the paint, which somebody said to play him a little bit in the paint. I don't know who that was. But Cat played in the paint. He scored. He saw easy bucket go in. Then they pulled him out to the top of the key. He held the pass out, looking for cutters. Josh cut, and then he found the cutters. So he has to just find those moves out there and does what he has to do. So I think those are the things that he can do to get the team rolling. I think he can do it. I think he can do it this year, and he has no choice. New Knicks, you look like you're just
Look,
fighting the new coach right now.
he has, well, he has one more slip up, bro. He should be the fuck out of here. But listen, as much as I dislike Cat's attitude sometimes and his way of being of always having feelings and playing with, you know what I mean, being emotional. You know, I just we won with the same squad last year. You know what I mean? If we was just a little deeper pause on the bench, I think we could have came away with the chip. But that's why I said, you know, having this guy here, like he should do the very minimal and let this shit run on autopilot. That's been his career. That's been his career. He's always walked into a team that was ready to go. Yeah, I mean, it's not like he had to do much to it. So, you know, I mean, the only defensive year that he won as a coach was the year with LeBron, but LeBron had like three defensive guys with him. You feel what I'm saying? Like, so wasn't really him, bro. I just hope the players keep up their fucking trajectory, and it's really not up to Brown, bro. It's really up to the players if they want to play for him and keep him around. Yeah, I mean, if that's the case, then they'll do their job. Now, what I'm looking for, Mike Brown, how he could keep his job is by calling more challenges, having his players back. Stop smiling so much. I don't want to see teeth. Like these are the kind of players you have on your team. You got to reflect them. Yeah, I mean, you don't. Probably Josh is the only fucking clown on the Knicks. Yeah, I mean, but even him, 90% of the time is straight business and no fucking around. You feel what I'm saying? He's not always like, like that goofy shit gotta go.
Okay. Hey, salute to Nostalgic Knicks. Our condolences to your grandpa who just recently passed away this week. Nostalgic
Oh
Knicks
shit!
says
Condolences to you and your family.
he also says his grandpa. He's glad that his grandpa at least got to see the Knicks. That the Knicks won in the championship for the cup. So at least he got to see him in a winning manner. So salute to your OGs, your grandpops. May you rest until risen. To that time.
Rest in peace, Grandpa Duke.
You know what I mean? Hey, salute to M. Angela in the building. He's out there. We see. Hey, he popped up. Salute to M. Angela. He's in the chat. He be, you know what I'm saying? He just be hiding. He's hiding. We see. Salute to my homie. Hopefully you're feeling better, my brother. Salute to you. Always love. That's my brother from another mother from a long time. That's Sangre. He ain't even a friend. That's Sangre. That's my brother after my brother. You know what I'm saying? So that's a lifetime veteran. Salute to you. Condolences, nostalgia, and yeah, you got to see him win. And now you're gonna get to see him this year. Let us know what you think. I mean, there's a lot of rumors out there. I still think he can do it. The key is, which it was the same thing last year. Even though Tibbs heavily played the team last year,
You keep saying he can do it. He is bro. You keep saying he doesn't have to do
the
much. He
system.
doesn't.
I'm not saying him. I'll say the system. The system as far as movement. The ball movement is key. Us getting north of 30 assists, over 27 assists is the key. That's how we won against Brooklyn. That's how most of our wins have come, where we're getting north of 25 to 27 assists. That has to be it. You got other players who can score. You got Clarkson who can score. Other players moving around with the ball. You need that ball movement. If that doesn't happen, that is the whole system. Whether it's Brown, whether it's any other coach, when you got this much talent, you got shooters around, you got people running to the corners, you have to have the assists. The key to this team winning, for them to not be in their feelings, is ball movement. Everybody has to touch the ball. However that looks like, they have to touch the ball. If you looked at the Brooklyn game, it worked. You saw Brunson, there was a couple times he brought up, and you could see it hit him. He was dribbling. He was like, "Oh shit, I gotta," and then he threw the ball. Like he wanted to keep it, but he swung it. He realized, you know what? I gotta swing this. Good.
Yeah, but at the end of the day, even when he was bringing the ball up, he
Good.
Even when he was bringing the ball up, he wasn't lollygagging. That nigga crossed that line within 2 seconds. Like he was a lot
Yeah, he was
faster. He
focused.
said,
He
like,
was
you know
focused
what I
and
mean? And
cognizant of getting rid of that
that's like
ball.
it wasn't no walking it down, waiting for the defender. Even with the defender playing him 94 feet, he was still getting it across. You know what I mean? And he was a little more alert.
And it wasn't. It was just him. Like all the players, you can see how they were looking at. All right, so the thing with Brunson, he was cognizant of not only getting the ball across quick, he was looking when they started to double him, he got rid of the ball quick. So these are things that Brown spoke about and that he knew that we've been talking about forever. When you're getting doubled, when you're getting two people around you, get rid of the ball quick. So they saw they were coming at him, got rid of the ball, they sprayed the ball and moved the ball real quick, and then they got that started working. You started seeing the ball move. Also, to what Two Shots was saying before, Cat was aggressive right off the bat. Cat had, I think, 7 points in the first quarter. He wasn't waiting. He wasn't lollygagging. He was going right to the basket. And what I told you,
I didn't catch the first quarter.
that's when he was
Was
moving.
Brunson getting it to him quick? Was Brunson getting it to him quick? Yeah, I mean, because that's what I said. Sorry to
No, no,
interrupt
go
you,
for it.
but
Go
like
for
I
it.
said, in order for this to work, Cat has to be the first option once that half court is passed. That's the only way the lane. I mean, I don't like back to the basket Cat. I need him playing
If there's a
where he
mismatch,
got the advantage.
I think if
Yeah,
there's an advantage, go ahead, go ahead.
yeah, but he's a lot better shooter. So if he can catch a center outside to get more space and running, he's more better running like dribbling into the shit instead of the post up. Because even though when he's in the post up, I like him in the post up because he got vision. When he got two, three niggas around him, he got eyes behind his back. He passes it like that's the only one good thing I like about like him. Yeah, I mean, assistantly, but I like him doing that from the 3 point also because if he's a threat from the stretch, the rest of the guys are scrambling, and then once they get the double team on them, is open season.
And I agree with you there, but and at the same time, it doesn't have to be the same. It doesn't have to be like you got Shaquille O'Neal. You always go to the post. That's all he does. Cat is so fluid in different things. I think you got to start there to get him confidence in the bucket, something easy because he's forcing these tough shots. And when he does it,
If it's a
you know what
mismatch,
I'm saying? Again depending on pick and roll. If you're picking Brunson's guy, right, and then you switch, crash to the basket, find Cat early, and then make the move, which is what was happening against Brooklyn when they have the mismatch. Brunson they started doubling. Cat just went straight to the basket. He found the mismatch and went straight in and made the move right away. He didn't hesitate, didn't think about it. He doesn't have to fight and do the hook. What was that? He didn't have to do none of that. He went right straight to the basket, right up, and just whether you make it or not, you put pressure on their defense. You have to either double Brunson or you take care of Cat in the post. And then Cat went back outside after he hit that basket, got confidence. Then he went to the top of the key, like you were saying. He was holding the ball out. Normally he has it here where they're stripping him. He held it all the way out so they couldn't reach it, and he was just looking at whoever was cutting. Cat, and then Josh went around, found Cat,
that's
found OG. So you can see they're cognizant of the small things. Yeah.
that. I mean, that's the Cat I like. When he got it at that 3 point line, and he got it like that, bro. He could hit anybody. The defender has to be on his toes because you know what I mean. It gives him more option from three. You know what I mean? Because somebody could come up and give him a pick, and like you said, switch up, and then it's barbecue chicken. Either be pull up on them or drop the little nigga in.
Yeah.
But we got to find those mismatches.
So that was one of the things that I saw. They got Cat early, then they played him back outside, and he was aware. So he knows he's getting chopped up. You know you get a slap. You know they're reaching in, but he's keeping the ball inside. So they're not going to call that because they think, they're slapping him. So he's going to force the call by keeping it out here. They're either going to have to foul him, try to get the ball, or he's going to have the advantage, which he did. He found cutters, he found space, and he was able to look over the players. So that worked well. So one thing I saw, Brunson getting rid of the ball quick. Same thing, Cat making the decision quick, making a paint from the post, and then also OG and Bridges cutting. You know what I'm saying? Go ahead if you got to pause it. So the fact that you got to get these other players involved, we got to have the ball movement, and that's what you saw. So you saw the play in the game. You saw a lot of assists on there between the team. So that's what we want to make sure that we get movement. If we can keep doing that, Mike Brown can keep his job. Not so much on him, but that's what we got to see in order to win. In order to win a championship, we have to have ball movement. The players have to be aware of that. It doesn't have to be too much of a system. They see it works. It has to be Brunson to be alert. The reason I put that thumbnail, because Brunson had 10 assists in that game. He had 20 points, 10 assists. We've been screaming it. You've been screaming it. Brunson can average 10 assists if he really wanted to. He can.
How many assists?
In that game that I put in the thumbnail. I basically put on the thumbnail because that's the best version of the New York Knicks. OG had 40 points in that game. Brunson had 20 points, 10 assists in that game. Karl Anthony Towns had 30 points and 10 rebounds in that game. So it's able to work. So it's not that people looking at trade cat. And I only put that because people talking about trade cat. The team can work the way we have it right now. The team can work. Go ahead.
Bro, like I hollered it from last year. That like when your starting five has double, they all five of them are in sync and they have double digits, is because Jalen Brunson is being more passive. You feel what I'm saying? With 10 assists, that's damn near. You know what I mean? If he's averaging that, you know he's getting about 13 assists, so he's capable of it. You feel what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, I'm not gonna put it all on him. The rest of the team gotta be scrambling. Like Bridges' name has been popping up everywhere. Like you feel what I'm saying? A lot of these guys you guys were bringing here to help your dog out, and the other half of you got the biggest bag on the squad, and I'm pretty sure that Jalen Brunson entered that meeting like, yo, is this what I took a fucking cut for this shit? Like I could understand his frustration. Like he took a fucking major fucking cut, nothing that's never been done in NBA history. You feel what I'm saying? For his city, his squad,
but he also
and niggas ain't stepping up.
Hey,
like,
but
come
he also
on.
has to take accountability too, because when he's in the game, he's not that ball is not movement. As a captain, you got that's why it was important looking at the Brooklyn game. As a captain, and we can love Brunson, but we got to be real with everybody. It's a team game.
Yeah, but like niggas was saying, Bridges and OG is not the Bridges and OG from last year, from the starting of the season. Because each one of them could easily score what you just said. OG with 40, fucking Bridges could have a 20, 30 piece. Jalen Brunson should have 20, 25. Cat should have a 30 piece. That's what it should be all across the board. This is why I'm winning by that margin. You know what I mean? And every single one of them is capable to do that in the same game. You feel what I'm saying? And mollywop the competition. This is what we needed to see from the end of the cup on. You feel what I'm saying?
But but this is where Coach Brown. This is what I was saying. This is where I was saying that it's up to Brown. Right now, it's up to Brown. And if you look at another video that I put out there, a short that I said Brown has to take the ball away from Brunson. It's not Brunson. I'm not scapegoating Brunson. I'm not saying in any way. But Brown had to take the ball away from Brunson because the other players are slower. You know, they are crock pots. They need a little more time to heat up. Brunson is a microwave. He's popcorn. It don't take much to get him popping. You know what I'm saying? He put it on 30 seconds. A couple of kernels are going to go off. You know what I'm saying? When you got the other players, it takes them a little bit longer. That's why you start with Cat to get him involved. He's your best offensive threat right after Brunson. You know what I'm saying? If anybody's off, Cat's the biggest threat defensively. He's a 7-footer. He can shoot. He can play in the paint. He can drive. He's the next biggest threat to command defense. That's why you start with him. You let Brunson fizzle in between when he can find his shots, and then you got to get OG and Bridges going. So Thibodeau had a good thing last year that he was playing them heavy minutes, but it was too much for them. That's why I said this year it's the first 7 minutes you could play them together, and then after that you scatter them. Then it has to be Cat and OG. They play good together, and then you leave the Nova Knicks. You leave Bridges, Josh, and because they already got that chemistry. Them three could flow together like nothing. You can mix them with other players, and then you bring in Cat and OG later on. That's how you got to get it. Get the offense where you put Clarkson and Kolek and Cat and OG. You know what I'm saying? That's where Brown has to figure out those rotations to get these guys going and heat them up. Because we've had games where Brunson's been on the sideline clapping for Kolek because Kolek's in there. He's finding Cat. He's finding Clarkson. He's finding Deuce. He's finding Bridges. So he has to keep that chemistry. Let me go look at that film of that game. That when they weren't playing, Brunson was up there like the number one cheerleader, clapping for them. He was out 5-6 minutes, rested. His ankle was feeling nice. You know what I mean? So he has to go back to figuring out what works for those players.
All right, let's keep it on Brown.
Go ahead.
Pause.
Yo.
Like he doesn't even know what's the next game after the Detroit Pistons, and I appreciate him just focusing on that. But I mean, I'm pretty sure Tibbs will know the next fucking 7-8 games. You feel what I'm saying? He doesn't do enough studying, because if you had a 10-win streak and you as a coach and a staff, because it's not you by yourself, you and the rest of the fucking goofies, you know what I mean, have a fucking meeting and go back to those 10 games and, my nigga, reverse engineer it. It's not that fucking complicated. This is what we was doing. This is where Cat was at. Maybe we could get Cat a little more. Look at the numbers. Look at the, I don't understand. So we already did it. So it's not like, yeah, I mean, and not to be able to get 3 stops in a row, which we was doing multiple times with Brooklyn. God.
I mean, to go ahead, you can mute it if you need to talk. And to your point there,
Nah, you good.
and to your point that you were saying there, I think at that point, Brown at that point he's almost needs to do it like what Thibodeau did. So I think him looking at just that one game, if that's what he said, Thibodeau was looking at one game at a time. Let's get better each and every game. I think Brown was looking at too many games and too broad, because he said he was giving them too much information. He had to simplify it. Sometimes, as you said, basketball is a simple game. Sometimes we can make it more complicated than we need to. And I think that he's going back to, let me just simplify it a little bit. And he needs to look one game at a time, because it was too broad and they were just thinking. So I think at that time, like looking at, like, especially with his job on the line, you need to look at every individual game. I think they weren't really looking at whatever the preparation, because they were just disregarding every other team. You got to look at every team and respect each team. So I don't know if he comes back to it. Salute to Syke Lee. He says JB pounds the air out of the ball, give it up and pass. I think it's gonna be something hard for him to learn, but he's done it. He's done it in many games. For Brunson, he said Syke Lee says that he pounds the air out of the ball, that he should pass, and he has spurts. He has spurts. Go ahead.
Trust me, he's been hearing that since the ending of last year and the whole season this year. Yeah, I mean, I'm pretty sure he got the point, and hopefully we see this Brooklyn game with our next competitors. Yeah, I mean, that has beaten us twice. So let's just see where we go. And
I'm kind of leading. I'm giving a little segue of what we're seeing. If you've seen the thumbnail, if you're just joining us, appreciate you guys for just joining us. I'll get to nostalgic. But all that to say is, my point to this, and when you're looking at the thumbnail, is that some people are trying to trade away Cat for Giannis and all this other stuff for JJJ. First of all, I don't like that. We're going to go into some of the trades anyway. But all that to say is, I think we can win with the team we have right now. The starters. I'm going to be clear. With the starters we have now, I think we can win a chip right now. I don't think we need to get rid of any of the starters. We could, unless there's one dangling bait, which we'll go out that. But as we are standing right now, I think we can win the chip. Mike Brown really has to step his game up. He has to break it down one game at a time, because his job is literally on the line per game. So he needs to be aware of each individual game, get in the right mindset, get into the game plan, and make sure people execute. You heard Brunson say that they did that if the team executed even 50% of the game plan that they were given. So Mike Brown was giving them the game plan. And to your point, like how you say Matt Brown, they were just basically disregarding almost what Mike Brown was giving them as far as a game plan and basically disregarding it. So if they respect the coach, whether they like him or not, he has a position there. You got to respect him and execute what he's trying to do. Give him a fair chance to win at that point. I think he has the ability to
I
help
mean,
him. Yeah.
sorry, I'm not gonna beat the dead horse, but I'm gonna beat the dead horse. Not if you don't got your back and getting calls
I get
and
it.
challenges
You're right.
and standing up. You feel what I'm saying? They're like, yo, you don't see, because the first person that's gonna fucking say something is the player. Like, yo, I didn't do shit, yo, and then he's looking at you, and you just there looking at the board, looking at the floor, not in the ref's face, having your back. It doesn't always have to be a challenge, but if you're not barking at the refs like Tibbs was, I mean, we don't need him to be Tibbs, but goddamn it, have your players back
I agree.
1 point so they can see you with them.
I'm with you on that
Yeah, I mean, and
100%.
when they the same way the Knicks was missing effort on the court, he was missing effort on trying.
Good
You
call.
feel what I'm saying?
That was a good call.
So
Nah, you're right.
they giving him the reflection of what he's dishing out.
Facts. Hey, listen, you got to get respect, you got to give it, right?
Facts.
I get that. In order to get respect, he has to give it. He has to earn their respect. He has to earn their trust. He's a new coach,
Facts.
so there's certain things I agree with you. At that point, he definitely has to. So he has to learn on the job as they have to
Hey,
learn.
sorry, news to Mike Brown. Hello, Mike, Mike Gooch. You're the new nigga on the block. You new here. Everybody else been here and been putting in work. So let's keep that fresh in your mind. You gotta earn your stripes here. Nobody else. Everybody stood on all 10. The proof is in last year. If we would have, we had the top starting five. We was number two. We're less of a bench. Yeah, I mean, we battled all the way to the Eastern Conference Finals. You know, you gotta prove yourself, bro. And that I'm just telling you, you're not in fucking Oklahoma. You're not in Indiana. You're not in none of those
The city.
friendly places where you walk, where you walk down the block and everybody's like, "Howdy, neighbor. Hey, how you? Good morning. Good at this ain't that, bro.
Just because you live in
Keep
Rochester.
your happy. Keep your happy. Tuck the fuck in. I don't want to see your teeth no more, please. And bro, no coach. I've never seen not Tibbs, not no. I've never seen a coach hug a player during the game before, maybe he might,
Maybe
but
after. Maybe
I
after.
never seen it. I never seen it. And salute to Draymond Green for playing
Nah,
his cards,
he's
because that nigga said, "Watch me." Hey, listen. He said, "Watch me hug this goofy."
listen. Hey, talk about pumped.
He did it. He said, "Yo, these niggas is tight right now."
Listen. Hey, salute to Cyclee. Cyclee says this lineup is also too big. They're in each other's way. I agree. That's all saying. First 5-6 minutes, he plays the starters as they are, and then offsets them, then switches them out. You know what I'm saying? Find different lineup. He said, Nostalgic says Cat has never been traded in the first place. The Knicks podcast should be ashamed of how they treated Cat like he's not on our team. I agree. If you heard us, we gave people, we cut people if they're doing wrong, no matter if it's Brunson, if it's Cat. We'll tell them if they're doing wrong, but we ain't say for Cat, or I don't agree with Cat being traded. Never said for him to be traded. I think there's areas of opportunity for the whole team. You can just tell he's just mentally, he has to be mentally engaged in the game. So we ain't say for Cat to be traded, especially as we're a Dominican podcast out here. There's opportunities, but we'll see. Cyclee says our bench is suspect too. We're going to talk about the bench in a couple of seconds here. We're about to go there. This the same team.
Facts.
So I agree. So he said, I can't believe fans let him start all this drama. Fans keep falling for
Who?
Draymond. Fans keep falling for Draymond. Draymond in general. Just Draymond in general. Mike Brown lives in Westchester. I said Rochester. I meant Westchester. Westchester. I meant Westchester. My family, I got peoples out there in Rochester. My bad. So the fact is that
He play mental games. He play mental games on niggas.
but listen, and that he could have got away with that in Sacktown and Cleveland where nobody cares. New York fans, New York media, we're gonna check that shit right away. If you walking around New York with fake Timberlands, we don't care if we never met you in life. We're gonna tell you, yo, those are not butters. Those are stutters. You know what I'm saying? Like we're gonna check you. We're a different market. We're different. Don't ever do that again. From here to the rest of the year, you play them in the playoffs. You don't say anything till afterward. When the game's over, after you do the post conference, you guys see each other in the parking lot. You hug and dap it out there. Don't never do that in public on camera again. All right, that goes there. So we'll see. I Two Shots was a little excited about the game against Brooklyn. People were like, "Yo, we beat them by 54, biggest game." That's all right. I'm like George Bush Jr. when he said, "Fool me once, but you can't fool me again."
Bro, but that's like me and my crew playing my daughter and her friends.
We were playing eighth graders.
That's the same difference. Like, what's big deal? Big deal.
That's like a bunch of
Biggest
NBA
fucking
players
deal.
went to LA. Was it LA? The basketball and the LA Fitness. They went to LA Fitness or one of
Hey,
those things.
I admire the fight. I admire the fight. Oh, you got to do that. Okay. I admire the fire, but yeah, I ain't fucking with it.
Love my baby. There we go. Anyway, so
You
that's
told me you only have it.
so
Jesus.
I think we're good. Now here we go. There's trade rumors. We started it earlier. We started talking about we got about a week and a half, 2 weeks, a little less than 2 weeks before the trade deadline. Nostalgic Knicks was asking what do we think about Alvarado. There's a lot of rumors going around for players, possibly people he could fit. Before we go into players, all I said, and I've told Gerson Rosas, I'm going to clip this real quick. So, Gerson, give us 30 seconds for you to lend us your ear. All I'm going to say, I'm going to go into this and I'll give you the segue. Gerson, por favor. New York Knicks need dogs. If you're going to make any move, we don't need a supplemental player. We don't need players that it's a possibility that they got an upswing, they got an uptick. We need dogs immediately. To help Mike Brown out, to help this team, we need dogs. In my personal opinion, a team that we can go after right now, and I'm going to go to a couple of different things, but right now, the two players you can get that are, which people laughed at me in the beginning, and this person's balling out right now, and I said it last year, and this person's also balling out. Go to Sacramento Kings. Go get Russell Westbrook, who is a dog, and go get Precious Achua. That's it. Short, sweet, to the point. I'll go to the rest of it. 30 seconds right now. That right there is going to solve every problem we have right now. I'll tell you right now. Russell Westbrook is on a vet minimum. He's getting $3.3 million. He's a triple-double threat. He's a point guard. He can get others involved. He's not going to be playing starter minutes. Obviously, he's going to get good minutes. He's balling right now. If anybody knows you really get Sack Kings, he's balling. You can get him, whether you trade rookies, whoever you got to move. You get Russell. He's a dog. You get Russell Westbrook. He can hype up the crowd in the Garden crazy. One of his dunk. Fact, can he not get the fans entertained? Will he not get people hyped? Does he not shout at the crowd? Does he not get the people involved? He changes the atmosphere instantly. I would say get him right away. You put him into a game, he's dunking, he's diving, he's talking shit, he's hitting a three. Whether it's a brick or not, he's going to run back on defense. He's diving. We need dogs right now. You get him and Precious. I don't care if you give up Kolek. You get whatever. You got two dogs immediately that will impact not only defense, they also impact offense. They will help others get into the game instantly. That's just my personal take. There's other people we could talk about, but you can go to Sacramento right now, who they're 10-30, whatever it is, 12-30. They're really, you can give them all. You can give them Kolek, Dadier. By the way, he's making $3.3 million. You got Russell Westbrook making $3.3 million. Guess how much Kolek makes? $3 million. Just saying. They're looking for youth. Just saying. Someone who can pass, just saying. Someone who can control the offense, just saying. Someone who can use for future and then get some picks, just saying. And then you got Precious Achiuwa's making $5 million. Guess who makes that? Yabusele. Even if you keep him for 1 year, you get him off the books later. That's someone you can see if he can come into something, turn into something to help you guys out. And maybe you get 2 picks with that. And if we got to throw in Dadier, where you get a young player because you're looking for youth and also picks, you can get a young player. I'm just saying. What happened?
It's way longer than 30 seconds, my boy.
In case you get, I figured
That
I
nigga
was
laid out the whole.
anticipating you cutting me
That
off.
nigga
I'm gonna be real. I was anticipating you.
Excuse me, 30 seconds, which really equals 3 minutes.
You my brother. I was
listen,
anticipating at 27 seconds you were gonna cut in. Go ahead. Your thoughts. Your thoughts on that.
But listen, I definitely, all right. I don't know about a guard, but if they were to make an upgrade, like bringing in Russell Westbrook for that bread, I definitely agree, Mr. Triple Double.
He's a triple double monster.
And listen, I'd rather him than Alvarado. Bolick is fine, but he's not. He'll never be Russell Westbrook, even at this age. Yeah, I mean, and I definitely agree that he's a fucking pit bull. Yeah, I mean, listen. As a matter of fact, I really like that because he will put Mike Brown in his motherfucking brain.
And even if Mike Brown fucks up, Russell Westbrook is gonna find the right player.
Mike Brown will be walking on eggshells around Russell, and he'll listen. He'll let niggas know, and he sees what we doing. You know what I mean?
Will he not find the right
he's
player?
Coming in to do his job, and he's gonna have everybody's back. You knock down the water boy's water with like it might be a problem.
You think he's gonna let Draymond do that at Cat? You think he'll let Draymond do that at Cat?
And Precious, listen, Precious already knows the system. He's wetting it like he's good for a three out of 7. You know what I mean? 4 out, whatever the case may be. He's a shooter. He plays like a dog. Bad defense. And look, it's what I've been saying all year. Bro, this Knicks team is a blue collar Knicks team. They play defense leading their offense. That's why doing the offense was already there with Tibbs. Tibbs was scoring a $120. He was like the offense was already there, but the defense that they united on and it looked like they were all on a string. Trapping niggas out, it was way different from
how many times?
Like having the offense. See, what Mike Brown did was he said, "Hold up, take that defensive mindset, put it to the side. Let's be offensive, faster, and this and that." Before the defense, yeah, I mean, all right, we know the defense is there, but if you play like this, faster and this, and no, bro, keep the defense is what's gonna lead to them fast breaks. It's gonna have niggas trapping and rotating. You feel what I'm saying?
How many fast breaks haven't you seen with Russell Westbrook and Precious Achiuwa? How many times haven't you seen Russell Westbrook chase down and slap the shit out of a ball on a defensive chase down? How many times haven't you seen that? This is going to solve our defensive problem, our bench problem, and our dog problem all in one shop, plus the money works. You got both of them under $6 million. I did the job for you, Leon Rose and Gerson and Worldwide West. All I'm saying is get these 2 guys. I'll accept $500,000 for 2 years, and then we negotiate the 3rd-year contract. That's all I'm saying. Pretty easy. I work for the front office for you. Super simple. No big deal. We'll negotiate the 2nd year. I'll do you the favor. $500,000 per 2 years. The 3rd year we'll negotiate, and then we'll go from there. But simple solution, I think that to me would be the best option altogether. It solves everybody's problem. Takes the pressure off Mike Brown, takes the pressure off the teammates, takes the pressure off Jalen Brunson having to create. When he comes in, he feels like he has to do something because you got other players who can also create. You got other players who can also get other players involved, i.e. Westbrook. You got a veteran, a triple-double threat. It also takes pressure off Josh Hart from doing all this extra work. You got another triple-double threat who leads the NBA. This was someone that I was surprised that the Knicks didn't get him even when he didn't have a team. Make the trade now that you can get him. Half the season. See how it works out. If it doesn't, you can get rid of him. But you got someone who's killing it in the game right now, who definitely has his legs in it. You can give him all the minutes you want from there. He's going to get everybody else involved. I'm telling you. That just, to me, out of anybody that's out there, all the names are putting. I mean, your thoughts on those? Maybe I'm way off. Maybe I'm way off, but...
Nah, you been saying it before we signed Yabusele. You know what I mean? You was like, yo, why don't we just keep Precious?
Even
He just
Westbrook.
wants an
Listen,
extra meal or two.
I was like, yo,
Like,
Westbrook is free. Westbrook is free. Why don't we get
listen, my
Westbrook?
brother, we both been yelling that shit. Like when they were shopping last minute, that was the last position to fill, and he was still there wanting to play for us. You know what I mean? And they left. Bring that boy back.
If you could get him
Listen,
and
out of everybody that's been being mentioned, like the young boys, well, whatever the other two forwards that were being mentioned as the pick, it is at the end of the day, it is two new faces, two niggas that gotta learn the system and then learn the guys. Precious, like Leon Rose, has been building this whole chemistry and culture off of unity and niggas knowing each other and growing with each other. So why not? It should be a Leon alley-oop because he likes unity. He likes niggas that already know each other, that don't have to start from scratch. Like, hey, how you doing? You wanna, you know what I mean? Like, so this is right, Leon Rose's alley, and definitely like the Westbrook name a lot better than Alvarado, Avocado, and everybody else that's being mentioned. Because if you bring in Avocado, how's he gonna get minutes? You feel what I'm saying? You got Deuce and Shamit playing. You got Deuce and Shamit taking up the minutes. You saw Clarkson wasn't getting minutes because Mike, look, when his job was on the line, he didn't have time for play. Kolick is play. Clarkson is play. And it, you know what I mean? When your defense isn't up to par, there's no time to be fucking around. Yeah, I mean, just because none of these niggas are on the TOF, they don't need to fuck around and find out. None of them. They already know. So what they need to do is stick to their guns. And since Clarkson and Kolick, yeah, I mean, is not gonna bring that pressure on the defensive end. Hey, I like what my brother's saying. Bring in Westbrook. I say keep Clarkson. Yeah, I mean, do the swapperoonie with the kid and bring in a dog. We need some dogs because there's at least two German shepherds and a Rottweiler that be on some type. Like, listen, everybody need to be pits and lock in. Yeah, I mean, lock jaw, lock in. That's it. It's you lock in.
And to answer your question, nostalgic, I mean to go around there, but so I like Alvarado. Of course, Borinquen, you know what I'm saying? Borinquen people love the Boricuas. I would love him. He's a New Yorker, all that. I love him. I think he's a dog. I definitely think that he could benefit here. But again, you're removing if you're getting him, you're obviously getting rid of Kolek. He's definitely a dog, aggressive defender that we can definitely use. He does fit the bill, but his gameplay, there's nothing that you can say so far right now that you can be like, you know what, he gives me this. This is what I can count on when he comes. And he does. He can shoot threes. He can play, make. He can hustle. He's aggressive. He dives. He's into the field. He's going to give you all that, which is good. That's part of it. That's what we need, dogs. If there's no way we get anyone else, then you definitely want a dog. So you want someone like that can get you involved. But if I had a chance if I have an opportunity to get someone, first of all, and the only reason why I say Russell Westbrook, we say he's old, whatever. I said it since before the season started that if he's available, we go out and get him. People are saying he's old, he's washed, he's old. Listen, old doesn't always mean washed. Just like hip hop. Hip hop is old right now, but the best music you listen to is old music. As old as what but it doesn't mean that he's washed. He's obviously showing that he's still got the skills. He's physically capable of doing it. He can contribute, and you're not putting him in a starter role, but you can still give him heavy minutes, and he's gonna elevate whatever team he's in. He would absolutely help this team. So in comparison with him and Alvarado, you got someone who's a triple-double threat at all times, good, bad, or indifferent. Every player's going to have their up and downs, right? So you're going to take the West Brick, whether he's hitting some threes, not hitting threes. He's averaging 34 for the year, by the way, so he's hitting 34% of three-pointers this year. But you got someone that if you bring him with Diawara, if you bring him with a Precious, if you bring him with a Mitchell Robinson, you know how many lobs he's going to find for Mitch? He would actually look for Mitch. If Mitch is coming off the bench, you know how many lobs you're going to have with him and Mitch? Just that alone is going to elevate the team. That's going to get Mitch able to play. You know how many times he's going to find Diawara. You know how many times he's going to either find Precious. You know how he's going to help Josh Hart get easy buckets to the drive. He can hit threes, whether it's not at a great clip or not. There's a lot of things that he brings to the team that he can help that cures a lot of different things that we're looking for right now. He's a veteran. He knows how to play. Even if Mike Brown's system is whack or it's not working, he knows how to play the game so well that he's gonna make the players be in the right position, or his drive is gonna force the players to be in the right position. Go ahead.
At the end of the day, we here at the TOF been fighting for Dante to come back because he's the type of nigga that'll start barking at JB and Bridges and, you know what I mean, start screaming at the crowd. That's the kind of person we need with that energy. You feel what I'm saying? And if we can't get it by bringing the fourth member of the Nova, that even forgot crossing my mind about Westbrook. And he's that cheap, bro. I pick him over if it ain't Devo, definitely Westbrook. Those are two of the same caliber dogs that we talking about. Bro, and so is Precious.
Think about if we can make those moves work. You're talking about Russell Westbrook, Deuce McBride. You got Precious Achua, Mitchell Robinson, and Shamit coming from the bench. Just those two players. You got McBride, Russell Westbrook, Shamit. You got Mitchell Robinson, bro. I mean, what are we talking about here? That's no break, and the money works. The money is literally plug and play. All you would probably throw is maybe 2 seconds, maybe four, and Daddy, and that still keeps you under the books. That still keeps you where you're at right now, under the second apron. With dogs, with vets, with people that are going to give you the defensive play.
I mean, the only thing that could top that, would be bringing Devo and Hartenstein back. But Hartenstein is injured. That's the only thing that could top that trade that you put up.
But even so, they're over the cap. You're talking about. Let's say we could go get Hartenstein, that they're willing to entertain that. You got to match the money. Now you're losing players because you got to match his 20 plus 25, whatever it is he's making, the 25, 27 million. Now you got to match money to that. So that means Mitch is gone. That means Deuce. So you got to match that money. So you're getting rid of players. This is literally a lateral move. You're literally just moving Yabu, Kolek, and a couple of young pieces and a couple of picks, and it doesn't affect anybody else. And then you can keep those players and sign Mitch and Deuce next year. And if you got to go over because you give a little more to Russell, and Russell, you think Russell's not going to want to win a chip or win it in New York? That is what I'm talking about. I would love to get Russell, and that's like a Chris Paul.
He will come in because I don't know if he's still into the fashion, but I'm pretty sure.
New York.
I'm pretty sure he's like. I mean, Russell always been a New York Knicks kind of player. Like he's always been a dog. You know what I mean?
Yo, his from his media.
You don't see you
What?
don't.
From all his media memes, from his fashion to how he plays to how he gets the teams and the crowd hype, bro. He would fucking fit like a glove here, and
Nigga, oh,
he checks all the boxes in my opinion.
nigga,
Maybe I'm crazy, but I think he checks all the boxes. He fits the dog box. He fits the assist player that he can get other people involved. He fits a veteran. He just fits all the boxes in my opinion. I just think Russell Westbrook, and they're all in the Kings. Kings are already they're looking to blow up the team. They're literally looking to blow up the team. They're looking for young
listen.
pieces and picks. You give them Kolek, you give them Dadier.
In the past, when people were mentioning Westbrook to the Knicks, it didn't work because they wanted him to be a key piece. But him coming off of the bench and doing what he's doing now, and you feel what I'm saying with this team, which they know that Westbrook's dog enough, just like the Morris twin that was here. Like when those kind of players come into the city and come into the team, like you get that respect automatically. It's definitely automatic, the respect.
And you get Precious back. Yo, we made a mistake. We didn't get you in here. You know what I'm saying? So that's grandpa vibes. So anyway, so that is just my opinion. So there's other players. You're looking at Keontae Ellis. People are talking about Keontae Ellis. The JJJ trade for Cat, I think, is crazy to me. You're talking about Jaren Jackson Jr. If you look at his injury list between the last 5 years,
Wait. Run that back.
so people
So
were talking about trading Cat for Jaren Jackson Jr. from
I was about to segue to that. But now that you bring it up, don't even that. Listen, Cat is no matter the fucking slump he's in. Yeah, I mean within these last few weeks, before those few weeks, and last year, we know what his true trajectory is. Whether he gets, I mean, he's. Yeah, I mean, so the only thing you do for Cat, and which I was going to ask you, because I think the Bucks has gotten to their boiling point. Doc Rivers ain't really going to do shit, so the only person you trade Cat for is for Antetokounmpo. No, Jared Jack ain't no top 5 player in the NBA. He's not like, we talking about a B-roll nigga.
Hey,
You know what I mean?
Salute to Wolf Perry.
Robin, or whatever. What happened?
No, I was saying salute to the Wolf Perry in the chat. Salute to you. Appreciate it. I think it's the first time I catch you. Appreciate you. Hopefully you subscribe and like. Definitely. So he says Westbrook makes too many bonehead plays. And listen, I can agree to some of those. That's more of a stigma that sticks with him than anything. And yes, he can make some. But if you're playing him 17 to 20 minutes a game,
in the past, that's not this Westbrook. Like when he tried to put the shit on himself.
So tell me a bonehead play that he's made this year in Sacramento. And even if it is, you'll have one or two that's blown up.
Even last year, you really haven't been hearing his name ring bells. I mean, I don't watch a lot of fucking the rest of the bullshit. I only stick to the Knicks content. But at the end of the day, Russell Westbrook is a veteran. He can't come to the Knicks doing boneheaded plays. Like niggas is looking up to him for leadership, and he's at that point where I seriously doubt him.
But let me say this. Let's say that's true, right? Let's say it's true. Let's say he does have bonehead plays. Because if you look at Kolek's made some bonehead plays where he's throwing the ball and he does some turnovers. Not a lot, but who would you say is a better player, Kolek or Westbrook? Honestly, that's what you got to ask yourself. If you're making a trade for even money, if you had a bet money, let's say you're playing your fantasy basketball, are you betting more on Kolek or are you betting more on Westbrook? As far as stats and what he's going to bring to the game. Whether it's bonehead plays or not, maybe he has one or two. But in 20 minutes between Kolek and them, and I like Kolek. I'm not dissing him in any way. I'm just saying for what we need, what's happening now. Do you go? Who would you bet on? Would you bet on Westbrook or would you bet on Kolek? I'm pretty sure we know the obvious answer. And let's say he does have those bonehead plays. We're not having him as a starter. We're looking at him at maybe 20 minutes, maybe 17 minutes. And could he, whether bonehead play or not, can he get other players involved? Would he find Mitchell Robinson on a lob? Would he chase down defense or dive for the ball? And would he get the crowd hype? That's what we're looking for. Would he make a bonehead play? Sure. Most basketball players make a bonehead play here and there. But there's more positive than negative, in my opinion. Right.
Yeah, I definitely agree. And a point I haven't really been making this year that me as a Knicks fan and as a ball player, yeah, I mean, like Cole, I always say we need to have threats on the floor. You feel what I'm saying? And if we don't have a threat, then that means it's a weak link. Yeah, I mean, and Westbrook, whenever he's on the floor, he's a threat. He's getting double teamed. Yeah, I mean, we're just gonna lead him. That's why he had 2 years of averaging a triple double, which hasn't been done since fucking
Oscar Robinson, the big O,
since the 1940s. Yeah, I mean, so like. It is what it is. And like my brother said, there's no way you're going to compare not nobody on the bench besides fucking Deuce McBride, but that you're going to compare to Westbrook. Feel what I'm saying?
Right, and think even if you get rid of the young players, let's say you get rid of Kolek, and again, we're not shitting on Kolek. We like our young players, but in a situation, if you're looking at what we had, this 9-game slide, whatever it was, this team, and I said it earlier, if you missed our last podcast, we were talking about that the front office got rid of dogs. That we have players that when the team was going through these ruts, when they're going through these lows, when they're hanging their head low, when they can't shake off whatever they're going through, you had other players that will will themselves into it and will the team into a win. Like Dante when we had the 76ers that he had all the 7 threes, he blocked Joel Embiid. You have other players that will will you into a win or change the emotion or the energy in the field, in the arena, in the game that can snap the players out of it. And we don't have that right now. And that's what I'm saying we need right now to get some dogs into it that can get the crowd hype, that can make a play or two dive in, and Russell Westbrook fits that bill. Plus his money works. His money is almost the exact same as what we gave to Kolek. So that money would be almost an even exchange on that aspect. You got Precious, who you can admit, you know what, we messed up by letting this kid go. He's a defender. He can give me double-doubles. We bet on this guy, and salute to Yabusele. No slight on him. He just doesn't fit. Salute to the Don to give him a 2-year contract because he played with Philly. He admitted, Yabusele said that he was just really looking to get at least 3 years in the NBA to support his family so they can get health care.
That's 5 years.
5 years, my bad. 5 years where he can get there. I think he played a couple years before that, and these 2 years would help him get that 5, where he can look out for his family. Who wouldn't want to look for the family?
Listen,
Salute to him for wanting to take care of his
we
family.
we always want everybody to get it back, especially you got to remember these young men are supporting their families, and they don't. A big majority of them don't have the financial education. So, they have a lot of people dependent on them. So, salute to Yabusele, and I hope he continues his career. Yeah, I mean, he's a great player. He played great on Detroit last year. Yeah, I mean, in Philly last year. And yeah, I mean, he just doesn't fit what we're doing right now.
But if you could put him in Sacramento, you could put him in Sac where they're losing team, but where he can get burned, and maybe they can find something. Maybe they can rejuvenate him. Maybe he would fit their system because they're gonna end up getting rid of the other players. They're gonna get rid of all DeRozan. They're gonna get rid of Zach LaVine. So they're gonna need players to just play the role. And he could do that. That's what was happening in Philly, where he can play. He has 1 more year. It's $5 million. It's not a lot of money.
There he is.
Hey, salute to Machete. Machete coming
there
in.
He is. Jump on the camera so the people can see you.
While we get Machete into the building.
What's going on, ¿Qué lo que, mi gente la 110? What's up? Yo, just came back in the house. My bad. I'm late. He called. I was
It's all good. It
You good?
happens.
You
Peace out,
good? You
people. What's going
good?
on, Knicks Nation? Let's talk some Knicks.
We appreciate you. So, Michelle, I'll catch you up real quick. So, we talked about the Brooklyn game,
What's
blah
up?
blah blah. Right now, we're talking about could Mike Brown? Is there anything that Mike Brown could do to adjust to get the team better? And as far as people were talking about trading Cat and all that, I said that I think the team is perfect the way it is now as far as starters. That we last year, if you look at the thumbnail, you saw that Cat had a 30 point, 10 rebound game. Also in that same game, you had OG Anunoby had 40 points in that same game, and you had Brunson that had 20 points and 10 assists in that game. All saying that with who our starters are, I think we can win a chip with the players we have now. They just need some ancillary pieces possibly to get up. What are your thoughts on that?
Slow down, buddy. Slow
That's
down, man.
hey, you just like Mike Brown. You're like, oh, let me give you the whole menu. Oh, we got steak,
Hey,
chicken,
I tried to give him the
meatloaf.
alley oop. He said, no, no, no.
God, listen, listen. All you gotta do is let the man go. He gonna talk about every topic automatically. Go ahead, Mike.
Go, Mike.
Go
Go.
ahead, take the
Go.
floor.
Alley.
Look, man. All I
Fucking
gotta
Mike
say, first of
Brown.
all, I'm glad we won that, but it was against Brooklyn, bro. It's like, it's like I said in the chat. You know, it was against Brooklyn. Now, what he needs to do is get past Philadelphia right now in Philly. If he can get that game, and then he can make up for the loss with the Sacramento Kings, and we get something going, then you can convince me. But we got a lot to get out in the hole, man. This is just one win that we won dynamically with a big blowout like that. I mean, okay, so what? But now, what happens if we go in tomorrow and we lose to Philadelphia? Y'all gonna be going back to talking the same shit. So when he gets past Philadelphia and Sacramento Kings, and we can get a roll, I want us to win the whole month right now. He's gonna have to win all the games in February for me to be convinced. He's got to get back in the plus. Whatever it is, in the locker room with the guys, whatever it is, the guys had to get over with one another. I hope we're past that. If it was that, or if it was the coach, we'll see you in the next half or after the. Now we got healthy, like I said.
Me your phone, you Knicks. Me your phone, you Knicks. Go ahead, Machete.
Like I was saying, man, we're just getting the guys back healthy. We were playing without the guys healthy, and now we're getting back healthy. And so we got that learning curve. Now we got to learn to play with Sham back in the lineup. Jordan Clark not being in the lineup. Whether he was the man that we needed for him to cover for Sham while Sham was gone. Apparently he wasn't. I prefer Sham. Too bad he got injured, but I prefer Sham healthy than Jordan Clark. That's just the way I feel about it. But we're getting the guys back healthy. It's looking dynamic again, and it's looking like the team that we started with in the beginning, with everybody ready. So maybe we can implement Mike Brown's theology, and also that Cat is in line. Cat's got to get in line.
So Mike Brown. So Mike Brown's been getting a lot of heat. Machete. Yo, mute your phone, you Knicks. I don't know if you was out there, but anyway. Machete. So do you think that there's anything that Mike Brown can do to try to get the players more involved? Do you think he's making it too complicated? Or you think it was just the players that had the issue and not Mike Brown?
There's a lot of background noise. Somebody mute their mic.
Mute your phone, Knicks. Go ahead, Machete. Machete.
No, I couldn't hear what you were saying. What did you say?
So do you think now with Mike Brown, how he's playing, do you think Mike Brown has to simplify it? Do you think it's on Mike Brown to get the team to get going? Or based off what you saw in Brooklyn, they were kind of moving the ball, we had over 30 assists? Or do you think it's just the players that it's in their head and they're making it more complicated? Do you think it's Mike Brown's fault as what you see, or do you think it's a player so far?
It's a combination of the both, man. I think it's the stress of probably getting used to a new system under a new coach, and the stress of that, and then the guys just needing to talk to one another about with the scheme of what's going on. And it's like I was saying before, because it seems like sometimes the guys don't know what their roles are when a certain player is hogging up the ball, and it's throwing everybody off. Because we got all-star guys in there, or guys who could have at least made the all-star. OG, Mateo, we got some good guys that just aren't playing well. But we saw that the last game because they started passing the ball around, and we had like 28 assists, was it?
Yep.
So that's what we need to do. We need to start passing the ball. Every time we pass the ball around, we win. And we need to see that more often. And people's gonna have to get used to that because we can't have guys standing around and feeling like they're just they're a bunch of bobbleheads. And we need to get our shit together and start focusing on ourselves as a team, and not so much in try to make other ends meet. If you know what I'm saying. And I keep saying that, and people are starting to notice around the league. Who loses out there with a podcast? Who got losing teams? Not only us, but Draymond Green. He's got a podcast, and his team is losing. Because he's not in the game. His head is trying to create a headline so that he could talk about it on his podcast. The motherfuckers can go back and talk about our business in our podcast, and I think that's just bullshit. Focus on what we got to do over here, and maybe we start winning more games. Okay, we win some games and we have some podcasts. Okay, that's all fun and games, but I don't know. It's just like if they didn't like it. I don't think coaches like it when and I like I said, I think it's double dipping. That's just my opinion. When you're doing shit like that, but that's besides the point. We also got guys in there who are whining and to the ref and not getting back and doing stupid shit like that, or playing, stupid fouls. Let's get past this whole deadline date, February 6th, whenever it is, the 4th, so that guys can just go back to focusing on winning again. And just get past the All-Star. Everybody get a little rest right now. We're healthy right now. Okay, we jiving. Let's get into the All-Star break. Get a little bit of rest. Come back, and everybody, do some practicing in between, and let's get back in business. That's what I'm saying.
One thing you
Look at what my bad. But look at what a coincidence that all of this is automatically happening during trade talks. There's been trade talks here in the past with Mitch and with everybody. So it's definitely somebody that's emotional. You feel what I'm saying? Or I don't know what the case is, but it's a fucking coincidence that it happened to be at the trademark where niggas start fucking up and going into a 20-game losing streak. Like, come on, this is ridiculous.
Well, one thing you
Like,
did.
we all know what it is.
One thing you did say, Machete, that
That's it.
One thing you said that was to the point and hit the nail on the head is players knowing their role. That was another point which you brought it up. Mike Brown has to give the players their role. When players know their role and what they're doing, they don't run around like the chickens with their heads cut off, and it looks so discombobulated as what we're doing. So I think that was an excellent point you brought out. Go ahead, Knicks. You out?
It's already two players that have vocally said that they don't know what their roles are.
Cat and who? Cat.
It's not one. Cat's been saying this since the beginning of the season. Fucking Clarkson said that he's never been told what his role is. Like, how's this coming from a professional coach? There's a coach that you admire, Machete. Yeah, I mean, that you want to give him and two shots as well. People want to give him all the respect and give him a chance like they gave Tibbs, but Tibbs was no nonsense from the beginning, and he always stood up for his players. So he had that. You feel what I'm saying? Like, come on, like, what professional coach doesn't tell their players what their roles are? All the way down to the bench. Everybody has to know what their roles are. So what are they doing in practice? If the bench is playing the starters, how are they not knowing their role?
Well, I think it's just that it's still guys just trying to still adjust to what their roles are. And that we had injuries and guys had to readjust to it, playing different positions.
We're the halfway mark. We're 40 minutes in.
What is their role? That Cat says he doesn't know what his role is. Mike Brown said, we're going to move Cat everywhere. He's going to be the top, the side, the corner. Sometimes he plays with the towel boy. There's no defined role, and that's the problem. I think you hit it on that. You were right. His system moves and it's flowing and we get it, but there's no defined role. Especially, and look, if you don't have something for maybe Clarkson, I get it because he's a bench player, but you have your number 2 player, Cat, your biggest threat, your biggest offensive threat. How don't you have a role for him? That's all I'm saying. You come from the pedigree of Pop, the San Antonio Spurs. How don't you have, like, you should be focusing on him like they were Duncan. That Duncan was the main player, and Manu Ginobili and Parker played off of him. You know, you got the best player who's the most dominant big man, as we've been saying, who can shoot threes. Duncan didn't shoot threes. Cat can shoot threes. He can get in the paint. He can shoot from the corner three. He can drive. How don't you exploit the biggest tool you have, the biggest weapon you have, that you would figure that is the main guy that you're going to focus on? Because you know what Brunson can do. You can get Brunson the ball, close your eyes, and he's going to do whatever he got to do, and he's going to get a bucket, whether he's driving, whether he's doing the shimmy shake, the pointer, the catch and shoot three. Brunson is automatic. He's automatic. You got to work the biggest tool you have. You got the best tool, which is Cat. Get him that he's knows what he's doing, how you going to play, and Brunson, you get your buckets, and you get the other one.
Knowing that he was born here to be option number 1 in order to space the floor out. You feel what I'm saying? How does he not know?
Well, it's like I said, part of it is that Brunson is the problem because he be sometimes playing ISO ball, and he's not passing the ball. And how is it that you're gonna have a player like Cat and having and Cat still gets his double? And part of it is also Cat, getting those stupid fouls. The coach has nothing to do with that. How you do stupid fouls? Kick your leg out and kick people in the nuts. Well, that ain't the coach.
Yeah, but the coach is not putting him in the right position. The coach, the coach is just letting him. All right, for you.
Yeah, but that doesn't mean you go fucking and roll wailing against a guy in the wall either.
I agree with Mike. Because look, being an all-star point guard and an all-star center, for y'all to be at this age in y'all life, having all the experience y'all have, from getting to the NBA and to not have no synergy, there is no chemistry with our 1 and 2 punch. That's like, how does a fighter fight like that? You feel what I'm saying? That it doesn't make sense, and it's either coming from the energy of Cat. It might be coming from the energy of Cat, but at the end of the day, I don't know how.
Hey, salute to Chris Connors 9449. Salute to you, my brother. Yeah, rewind. We got some good stuff talking about there. You can stay in the chat live and rewind it. We appreciate you. Always love. We appreciate you, my brother. Salute to David Smith in the building. Who is wrestling with dishes back there? It sounds like somebody's.
Yo, Phil, mute your mic. Mute your mic, bro. You got all that background.
It sounds like someone's in a restaurant fighting with the dishwasher.
It's fucking distracting as fuck, bro.
Anyway, all that to say is
we're gonna have to start that show all over again.
It's up to Mike Brown, and I'm gonna say it again because Mike Brown even said it. What Mike Brown said is that there's no set play calls, which is what I was saying. He came in here. We brought him into.
Why are you shaking your head? Why are you shaking your head? Why are you shaking your head, Michelle?
You guys are trying to use this guy as a scapegoat when it's just not just Mike Brown, bro.
He's a coach. He's a coach.
Bro, he's just been here. He's been in the organization for fucking 4 months, bro.
Half the season. Coaches get fired quickly for half a season. This is the same team.
Okay, let me ask you something here. So, how was Flint's doing his fucking 4 months of the season?
With this team, he got him past what he's doing right now. He had the same team for half the year last year. Him and Mike Brown are in the exact same position. They've had the same players for half a season, and he had less of a bench than Mike Brown does.
All right. The only way you can compare it is that if you could compare, because you talk about, if you took early Thibs in his early
last year,
career,
they didn't have the same players.
He didn't have anybody. Wait, you said he didn't have anybody. But if he had the same players, so you talk if you talk about what Thibs was last year with this group of guys, he's pretty, for a guy who's been on the job 4 months, He's pretty good on course.
So did Tibbs. Tibbs had
He's
the
just
same
behind
player
with
for
Tibbs
4
was.
months last year.
He's just behind with Tibbs was with the same team that Tibbs had already
With
4
less of a
years.
bench. With
At
less
least.
of a bench. He had less of a bench. Go ahead, Nina.
Nah, I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear it. Same team, same record.
No bench.
Almost.
And never since 1920, the New York Knicks have never been in a 9-game losing streak. Never since the 1920s, bro. Yeah, is that right on course? It's that right on course. That's not the kind of bro. That's not the kind of records I'm trying to break, bro. That's not the kind of records I'm trying to break over
Where did
here.
you
That's
get
not
that
the kind
from?
of
From Jessica
history.
Biel from that hater? Is that where you get that from? We're 1920s. We've been around in 1920s, bro.
Yo,
We've been around since. Look, what does that say?
46. Thank you for
Since
that.
1946.
Yeah.
What are you talking about?
Machete,
What are you talking about? Stop getting your misinformation from Jessica Biel, bro. And that's the number. No, it's like I'm trying to tell you, Ruel. All right, for a guy who's only been 4 months with the same squad, basically, and we probably had a better bench last year because at least Cam is better than fucking Jordan Clarkson. I think that we had Cam. I think we had a better.
Name him. Who was our bench last year? I'll wait.
I'd rather have the squad we had last year than the squad we had this year.
Deuce was not balling how he's balling now. Never. Stop it, bro. Stop it. Deuce was not. First of all,
Cam was playing better.
he was injured.
Deuce didn't get as many minutes. Deuce didn't get as much play with Fibs last year as he is right now.
One at a time.
Deuce was injured a majority of last year, and when he came back, he was not playing like he's playing now, shooting 7 threes, making 30 points. So that's not the same guy.
You can't use the same guy. You can't use the same guys. If it was a healthy Deuce standard that they was something like he is this year.
Back up what you said. You said we had a better bench. Name the bench last year. Name them.
Cam.
So Cam
we got rid of Cam. What did we get rid of?
Cam was better. Hold on. Go one at a time.
Sure.
Hold on. So you're saying Cam was better than Clarkson?
Yeah. I'd rather have Cam, yeah. Because it's about the same.
Not what you rather
have.
have. Was he better last year than Clarkson right now?
I don't know. I don't have the numbers in front of me. I can't tell you.
You
Do you have the numbers in front of you?
You had a better bench.
Mike, off the eye test. Cam was playing like Clark.
You have the numbers to compare to prove me wrong in front of you. Do you have the numbers in front of you to compare? Because you asked the question. Who's better at this point right now? Cam or Jordan Clarkson?
Go ahead, keep going.
No, Colic. He said Colic.
Cam at least was with us playing us in the playoff. Where was Jordan Clarkson last year?
Listen, hey, Angro 1, salute to Angro 1, he's helping you out. Angro 1 said it was campaign, DeLon Wright, and Precious.
Cam at least has gotten to the finals with the Phoenix. What did Jordan Clarkson do when he was out west?
We're talking about this year.
Who would you rather have?
The Knicks, you're comparing.
You asked me who I would rather have. I'd rather have Cam.
No, the question was, you said...
to me, Cam's record, right now, Cam's record is better than, is better than Jordan Clarkson's record.
The last question that he asked was Cam better than Kolick was playing now? No way. Not even Kolick.
No. Listen, last year, first of all, to go off both of us, right? Right now, we're exactly where Thibodeau was last year. Our record is exactly how it was last year, minus a game or two. We're the exact same thing. Thibodeau had the same.
Whereas, hold on a second. Whereas Fibs had, you're saying the same thing I'm saying. The record's more or less. Fibs' record was a little bit better than our record right now. A little bit, but not much.
Correct.
But for a guy who's had his team under him 5 years,
he didn't have this team for 5 years. He had it for one.
Hold on a second. Versus a guy who's been with the squad 4 months.
He's had the same
almost
squad.
The same record.
They've had the same squad for 4 months. They both had the same players for 4 months.
It's not the same team, Mike. It's not the same team.
Even with hold on a second. Not only that, he took us and got us the Emirates Cup. Not only that, even with 8 losses, even with the late losses that we had in the last 10 games, right? He still almost has the same record as Thibs, who had his squad 5 years and knew all his players. And this guy's just getting to know his team, and they're just getting to learn his system.
Great, and we're in the same record. So that all that's and let me read that. Let me read the chat real quick.
So what does that say? What does that say about the coach?
Let me read the chat. Angro1 says erratic, but he's hit a bunch of big shots and was a secondary ball handler. He's talking about campaign. So he's saying that campaign was a little bit better than what Jordan Clarkson's been so far. I don't know. Jordan Clarkson had a couple of big games so far. He's been a little erratic as well. So
yeah, and not only that, Jordan Clarkson is one of the top 9 all-time off the bench scorers, and he still hasn't really done better for me than what any more than what Cam has done. With Cam, at least Cam would hype us up, get everybody hyped up.
Let me give you a point.
Mikal Bridges to vibe off of Cam. We played better. We played so good that with Cam, we got all the way to the fucking finals.
Hey, Cam had a coach. Cam had a coach that told him what his fucking position was, what his role was since the fucking practice, since day camp, since the start of the season. Fucking Clarkson doesn't know what the fuck he's doing because Goofy got him out there looking goofy. That's why we fucking lose in 10 games.
Because he's so inconsistent. Because he's inconsistent. Okay. He's more inconsistent than Cam.
Okay, and I'm going to keep reading the chat. Hold on. You guys got your point. I'll salute you guys. Appreciate you guys. To the chat. Angro says, Tibbs was the bozo who didn't use Precious correctly. Campaign as a better than Kolek as a seasoned vet. So he's saying that. So, hey, you were right that he didn't use Precious. But let me back up a little bit.
I agree.
Hold on. There's a 2-pointer on that because if it wasn't for Tibbs, Precious did play last year that he got the double-doubles and blocks. He didn't continue to use Precious towards the end. But in the games that you saw last year, the reason Precious became who Precious was, the games that he got the dunk against Stewart was because Thibodeau played him. The dunk that he got in Toronto was because Thibodeau played him.
A lot of those times it was due because of injury.
But he got
Tibbs wasn't playing him.
Did Thibodeau play him or not?
But that's because he was next on the list. He had to play. But as soon as his replacement got well. As soon as his replacement got well,
I agree that
he will go with it.
I agree. That's why I said we should have
kept him. I agree with the chat on that.
Salute to Angle on that one. You got it. But he did get it. And you're right. But it was because he was injured. Let me see. David says Coach Brown is toxic for Cat and OG. He doesn't know how to use the roster. He throws players under the bus and doesn't have any of his players back with the officials. Got that. And he wonders why he got fired after 30 games. He lost the locker room after 30 games. He was a terrible hire. That's definitely something that we're definitely discussing here now. No defense. Our issue is defense, not offensive, honestly. And we're not talking about that. And I agree with you, Angro. Offense has not been the issue. And we weren't talking. And you're right. It's definitely defense. So it's not so much offense as how, but it is how the offense is playing. Because the issue that you're seeing the players emotionally.
I've been saying that since the beginning, bro. I'm not worried about no offense. Our offense comes from our defense. That's where we've been fucking lacking everything. Because our players play with the defense first, which leads them to their offense. I've been saying that.
Nostalgic also says Knicks are predicted to make a trade with Pelicans for Yabu. Angro says Tibbs didn't let him develop any consistency and could have used him versus Indiana. I agree. That's why if you look, I was fighting for Precious. I did agree with you that I don't think Tibbs towards the end utilized him or took advantage. And I think Precious did enough in season, even when the injuries happened, that he had the double-doubles, he had the blocks, he had the monster dunks, he had the fast breaks. I thought he did enough to definitely earn from the organization, if not
that's what led Tibbs to his demise, his shrinking of the bench and the rotation when you have players like Precious, you have players like Kolek, which, you know what I mean, sometimes he does save them from themselves, but at the end of the day, you can't see what you got, and Cat and our starters are begging for time because you're playing them 40-plus minutes, each one of them. Like, come on, that's not feasible.
Yeah, and to Angro's point, to talk with Machete too, also on the bench, I do agree with that as well. So we did have a good bench last year. They just weren't utilized by Thibodeau. He also did say he didn't. We also had Payne, and then we also had Clarkson. Payne is a better defender than Clarkson. I can agree there. And he also said Kolek versus DeLon Wright, who was 6'6". DeLon Wright is a great defender. We could have used him again. He did good when Jalen Brunson was out. Tall defender, dive on the court, another dog as well. So I thought DeLon Wright was good. And then, so that's and Machete. So now we're talking about, speaking of benches, speaking of the benches that we have now, New Knicks is going to jump on in a second, but we've been talking about, we have about a little less than 2 weeks before February 5th trade deadline. We're talking besides our bench and going back to the point of the thumbnail of showing the players we have, that I don't think we need to make trades for any of our major players. Before we go to the bench, do you think we need to move any of our starters? I'll go that way for trade. Machete.
Nah, we're not. We're not moving anybody. Okay. We need to go with the same squad. Everybody.
Let's start starters first.
Everybody.
Starters first. New Knicks. Do we think we move any of the starters? Do you think we
unless hold on? It's like hold on, unless it's like New Knicks is about to say, unless it's straight up for Cat for Giannis, and we don't lose too many of our main guys, like our especially Robinson and Deuce. I don't care, man. But right now, Mikal Bridges ain't showing me anything right now. And, I will give up Yabusele and throw Clarkson in there. But I'm not throwing in Mitchell, anybody else. Give him Kolek, anybody else. But I'm not giving them Deuce and I'm not giving them Mitch Rob. That's all. And I'm not giving them the main group.
Listen, what said earlier. It took me by surprise, but he mentioned two dogs with Westbrook for Kolek and Precious for Yabusele. So that right there are two dogs. Yeah, I mean, it's not like Westbrook's coming in and playing a major key, but he is a difference maker.
I'll bring it up.
You feel what I'm saying?
I'll bring it up to explain it. So Machete, what I was saying. So to the point that I was trying to make now, I think we're all in agreement that we don't trade any of our starters. Our starters have played phenomenal last year. We believe that they can do it. We believe that we can win a chip with them. They're in a slump. They obviously showed who they were last year. We obviously needed to make sure that we have the right pieces on there. And to that point, I was saying more than likely Yabusele's days are numbered. He put it on his Instagram and, stuff like that. So I was saying earlier before you came on that I think the players that we should go for is bench players, but the New York Knicks need dogs. That's how we said in the last show that we need dogs, people to motivate the team, that when they're in a slump, that when they're in a drought, like how they've been playing, that you have someone like how Dante came in and was a firecracker and got the team, willed us to a win at that point in time, whether it was iHeart that came in and his play got everybody elevated, that we need to make a move right now for some dog players that are going to help what we need, whether it's assisting, getting the team, and especially defense, which we know defense is a problem. So my idea that I thought about was that we can trade to the Sacramento Kings for Russell Westbrook and Precious Achiuwa to get them players back. Russell Westbrook is making 3.3, I believe, and he's making the vet minimum about 3.3, which is right about Kolek's number. Kolek is making about $3 million. You can fill it here and there. And then you also have Precious, who's making about $5 million, $6 million, and that's around the same number that that Yabusele is making. So you can move those two players. Obviously, they would want some young players because they're trying to blow up the team. So you probably include a Daddy A in there, maybe another young player in there, maybe a couple of picks, a couple of second rounders, 2 seconds, 3 seconds, 4 seconds, whatever it is, to make that work. But I think if you get Precious and Russell Westbrook even numbers, that doesn't affect our starting lineup in any way. You don't get rid of Clarkson. You still keep Deuce. You can still keep the core of what we have. I think that will help our team. What do you think about that move? Money-wise, it works. And, you don't lose your core, even more than likely keeping Deuce and still keeping Jordan Clarkson, but you would add Russell Westbrook and Precious Achiuwa to that. How does that sound like to you, where you get two dogs that they're going to play defensively, Russell Westbrook, who's a triple-double threat, who can help the bench with assists because he can average 10 assists. He would get lobs to Mitchell Robinson. He would get other players involved. You would have Precious also in there who can defend and rebound and block. How does that trade sound to you for players that we can possibly get for for this trade? What does that sound like to you?
Man, if we can get back Precious Achua
Russell?
I'd rather have Russell Westbrook. I'd rather have Russ over Yabu at this point, whoever it is. But if we can get Precious back, but the thing would be like getting them to click. Whoever it is that is going to come in here and able to gel and click with the guys, because there's no point in bringing back Precious and it's not the same.
He played last year.
And
He played last year.
Right, good point. Hey, great.
Yeah, but who's on
Great
that
point. So out of everybody that's in the trade, like in the trade position for Yabusele, since you said it, chemistry is what Leon Rose builds everything off. Who's the better option? Is it Precious that already knows the system, knows the guys, and knows everything, or do you go for the two young guys?
Not only that, Precious has played with Mike Brown before. Mike Brown knows how to coach him. So it's like I'm all for it. I'm all for that. If that'll make it work, the Russ trade and the three team, whatever, make it work.
And that would make the money work. So I was saying that too. So not only do you get two dogs back, which we need, you got two great defenders, on-ball defenders. Russell, kind of, but he's a great chase down blocker. He's a good help defender. Not great, but you got these two guys that maybe they get 20 minutes each. They would fill the role quite a bit. I think it helps Mitchell Robinson because you have more than likely Mitchell Robinson off the bench. You'll have a point guard that would actually assist or lob to him. So you would see a lot of lobs with Mitch. That pick and roll threat where Russell Westbrook and Mitchell Robinson would be crazy. He has a choice of either him or Precious. That alone was crazy. Then you got Deuce playing with him.
Precious used to go in with pressure. Like he wasn't like when he went to the basket, he was trying to take heads off as well. So listen,
and they're playing together right now. And they're playing together right now, so they already got chemistry. They're playing right now, Zach.
If they made those two pickups, flawless pickups, and that will, because like Mike, I was telling Dwight, not bringing Russell Westbrook, he will be the one checking Mike Brown and having him walk on eggshells, because he's a veteran and he's a no nonsense kind of nigga. He's not gonna take that goofing around shit too lightly. He'll probably put him to the side. He'll probably put him to the side and be like, "Hey, let me holler at you real quick," and be like, "Yo, enough with the teeth. Enough with the teeth."
Angro, you would have to explain to me. Angro says Westbrook is not a good fit. He's washed. Sorry, his ego won't allow a very small specific role with Westbrook. Explain to me how he's washed when he's balling in Sacramento. Explain to me how he doesn't fit when his role would literally be the same thing that Kolek is doing when he's giving you triple doubles. So you're telling me those 10 assists would not help our bench? You're telling me those 10 rebounds would not help our bench?
Can you get Russell Westbrook's numbers? Can you flash off screen and get Westbrook's numbers for this year or last year?
So that's what you have to look at it. It's his role specific. His ego is not the problem. If you give Russell Westbrook, you tell him you're gonna play for New York. We're going for a championship where he has a legitimate chance to win. He doesn't have a chance to win in the Kings. He's been trying to win his entire life. He was the closest he was chance to win a ring was when he was with the Thunder before they blew that up, and then when the Clippers before they got old and injured, and then his other chance when he was in Houston with Harden. You're gonna give him a real chance where his impact would not only help the team, him helping the fan base, or what he would do against a New York crowd, how a New York crowd would embrace him when he does a dunk, when he does a dive play. He feeds off energy. The fans feed off energy. That's a different thing. He would fit seamlessly in this team. Now, at his age, nobody wanted him. So it's not like he has a choice that whether he wants to be a starter or not. But if you give him 20 that you're giving the 17 or 18 that you're giving to Kolek right now, that would be incredible for him. He would incredibly fit because defensive, he chase down blocks. He can help the bench players. And when he sees that he has importance and he's going to get other players involved, he would help out Bridges if he's playing with Bridges. He would help out OG and get him involved. He would fit like a glove. I don't understand people talking about he doesn't fit. How do you have a person who averages triple doubles not fit? Anybody who averages triple doubles fits anywhere. with
listen,
Mitchell Robinson.
listen. We're not saying that. Listen, with the minutes that he's getting, like we're not saying he's gonna average a triple double. That's
He could
just
though. He's almost averaging that right now in
facts.
Sacramento.
Yeah,
No,
right
no,
now,
no. I understand that, but what I'm saying is that at the end of the day, Russell Westbrook is a dog. He's not coming in to play a key position like take Josh Hart's place. He's coming off of the bench, and then on top of that, like he's not in that era where he was trying to put the whole shit on himself. He has a full fucking cast to let him help get it ring.
And he'll be
And
behind
I'm pretty
Brunson.
sure
You don't
this is
think Brunson could use the help? You don't think Brunson could use the help when Brunson? I mean, Deuce is doing an admirable job. Kolek's doing an admirable job. But when Brunson sits down, you don't think the pressure that JB would be relieved? That he'd be like, "Yo, I got Westbrook, got my back. Westbrook's coming behind me."
Yo, Deuce and
you might.
Deuce and Westbrook out there, you heard?
Mute your thing.
Yo, so Russell Westbrook, also known as the Brody, also known as Russ Westbrook, Mr. Triple Double, position point guard, small forward, shoots right, 6'4", 200 pounds, Sacramento Kings, 37 years old, from Long Beach, California, is a 9-time All-Star, 2-time scoring champ, 3-time assistant champ. Fucking for his 25, 26, he's played 45 games. He's played all 45 games. He's averaging 15 points. What's TRB?
Just keep going. Just throw
What's
that there.
TRB again? 6.1, and he's averaging 6.9, almost 7 assists a game.
How many minutes? How many minutes per game?
It's not saying how many minutes. I'm only getting right now 45 games. I'll get more details.
If he's averaging 15 to 7, so there's some games he's getting 10. That means every night he's giving you 7 assists. We're struggling.
Hold on, Mike. Is he starting or is he coming off the bench?
Hold on a second, dude. I can't get all the info. I'm on.
I'm pretty sure he's coming off the bench, making the money that he's making. He's coming off of the bench, and if that's what he's producing off the bench, and on top of that, he's never had no serious injuries or surgeries where he can't get up like he used to. And total rebounds. Yeah. So, like I said,
Thank you.
like my third point, when you put on that blue and orange and you come to a city where, listen, the city's gonna get behind Westbrook. It'll definitely go crazy. And if you bring in Precious, listen, it's
bro. And listen,
it's definitely a few.
we're not talking to replace Brunson here, guys. We're taking it too far. You guys thinking that we're bringing it's either Brunson or what? No one's talking about that. You're talking about bringing right now. If you look at the 9-game slide that we had, what do we have? We look like we were soulless out there, just lost players. We had no dogs. That's the whole purpose of this. That we get dogs. People were gonna bring energy. The crowd was dead. They had nothing to cheer about. They were booing because no one was bringing the energy. You throw a Westbrook or Precious in there. Go ahead.
Hey, this coming from the nigga that tried to give one of his own play a dap, and the nigga walked away from him, and he turned up like, bro, Russell Westbrook is that kind of nigga. He'll pull a nigga by the ear, be like, yo, nigga, I'm talking to you, nigga. Yo, what the fuck we doing out there? That's what I'm trying to tell you. We need a vocal leader.
If Cat's struggling, he'll be like, yo, wham that shit. If Cat's like, I don't know, yo, shut the fuck up, stop complaining, go fucking drive that shit. You have someone that's gonna just cut that, go. Draymond Green try some super shit, do it again to him. Like, that's what we need. That's where the fit is. I don't care if he throws 7 3-pointers and none of them going. I don't care about that. I don't care if he's 0-7 from 3. Can he give me the 7?
I don't care if he comes in here and scores. I don't care if he comes in here and scores 4 points. That's not what I'm worried about. What we need is leaders.
If he gave me 0 points and a 12 assists, I'm happy. Can he get Mitch Robinson involved with some dunks on a real pick and roll? Maybe to teach Brunson what a pick and roll looks like. Can he get OG involved? Can he get OG involved on the cut? Can he find OG on the cut? Can he get Deuce involved? Can he get Clarkson rolling off a screen? Can he set a pick? Can he chase down a defender? Can he double team? Can he chase down a block? These are things that he does. Can he get rebounds? When Josh Hart's tired, his legs, his ankle, when Josh is almost dead, can we get somebody else to rebound besides Mitch? Russell Westbrook gives me 10. Can he? He's fitting all the needs of what we have. Leadership.
Yeah, it looks like he's playing starting minutes. It looks like he's playing starting minutes. Like, he's averaging, like, the last couple of games, 34, 31, 33, 31, 39, 34, 33.
Because they're losing and they're showcasing him to get rid of him. And even if you trade for him, it's not like he has a choice, but he can get a solid 20 every night with the Knicks. A solid 20 points. 20 minutes. You have and he's played every game. He doesn't miss games. He doesn't get hurt.
He doesn't have too many negative numbers. He's always in the plus mostly. I can only count like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Like a handful of games where he's in the negative, like lately.
Even so, how many games has Kolek been in the negative? Not a lot, but he's had some. Would I rather have a negative Russell Westbrook, but he gave me 10 rebounds that game and 10 assists, and other players played well? I'll take that. You got a fucking future Hall of Famer that knows the game, and when Brown is struggling, when the other players are struggling, this is a player who can get the other people going. We need some help with the other players getting it going. That's a big issue. Cat can't get it going sometimes, whether because the ball's not moving. Russell Westbrook is going to find the other players. When OG's not getting it going, Russell Westbrook can get him going. When Bridges is struggling, Russell Westbrook is going to get them going. When they're lollygagging and bullshit and just playing with no energy, Russell Westbrook's going to get all in that ass. Pause. He's going to let them know, like, yo, what the fuck we doing? You know what I'm saying? He fits all the need that we need. that is what we need. And then you bring a defender like Precious when Cat's struggling or Mitch is down, or the games that Mitch is not playing a back-to-back, because that's going to be the rest of the year. You got a player who can defend. You got a player who can rebound. And all their monies match exactly what Yabu and Kola give you. You're still going to be under the second apron. So it meets everything that we need, plus helps Mike Brown keep a job, still keeps us in contention to be a contending team and get the chip, and helps freeze those minutes from the players from playing like we have to play them like Thibodeau in heavy minutes and having Black Tibbs do the Thibodeau way. In my opinion. Maybe I'm crazy.
And like I told the only trade that beats this trade, as in dogs, because we like I told everybody, we got 2 German Shepherds, we got a Rottweiler, there's one pig, there's a fucking
OG's a Cane Corso.
We need niggas that's gonna be dogs, and the only thing that beats bringing in Westbrook and Precious is bringing in Defoe and what's white boy's name?
I
Wallenstein. You know what I mean?
And they're taking you over the second apron, even if you do make that move. Even if you do, they're making too much money that's going to take you way over that second apron. Now you're in luxury tax, and you're paying all that. When Westbrook and Precious are the exact same money as Kolek and Yabusele. The exact same money. You move them dudes, you give a Kolek, a Dadier, some young players a couple of seconds, and your money is exactly where it's been all year. And you got 2 dogs, 2 veterans, defensive players that give you all the things you need, and the money works. Simple, easy, cut dry. Even if you have to lose a first or a couple of seconds, you do that, you make the move, you swallow your pride, and now you got the right players. You save the season, you save your teammates, you save the coach, you don't look as terrible, and you still got a chance to win. That's all it's about, man. Pretty simple to do it. Salute to Shot Powers in the building. Let's get it. Shot Powers, salute to you. Salute to him. Yo, go subscribe to Shot Powers. Go watch their show. They litty. They do the damn thing. Appreciate you guys in the chat. Let's get it. Appreciate you, my brother. And that's all I'm saying. And let's talk about the other trades and why I don't think the other ones would work to a certain extent. So people talking about trading Cat, I don't know why you do it. I get it. People frustrated with how he's playing. The biggest name that they're talking about is JJJ, Jaren Jackson Jr., for those who don't know. Plays for the Memphis Grizzlies. You're going to trade him for a player who's constantly injured. I'm sorry, guys.
over the Antetokounmpo? You're just gonna already
I'm gonna go to
say
that
his
one.
name?
I'm gonna go to that one first. Because Giannis will be here for 20 minutes talking about him. We're gonna get to that. But I'm gonna rule
Bro,
out. I'm
no,
gonna
no,
rule out the other ones
no,
easy.
you're driving. Wait, you the lost nigga of you the lost driver of niggas with warrants and shit. Like, what I know. Stop steering niggas to the left.
Listen,
Listen,
we'll go to
the
that, but we're gonna
only
talk for
this
30
thing.
minutes on Giannis. I'm gonna rule out the other dudes. I'm gonna rule them out. I'm with you. I agree. I'm just gonna rule these other people out. Why they make no sense, and then we'll go right into Giannis because Giannis makes more sense, and he's the top dog. So you got to get rid of the other dogs. Anyway, so Jaren Jackson Jr. I've seen it brought up. You're gonna trade cap for this player who's been injured, who's riddled with injuries. He's another Anthony Davis. He's very seldom available 60 or more games. He can shoot a three. Maybe that's a comparable. He's not a rebounder like Cat. He can't drive as much, and he doesn't do anything unless he has another star player. He's okay, but you can't tell me that he's better than what you're looking at as far as Cat in that comparison. Salute to Cy Powers. That's going to end up being not a good deal for JJJ. That salute to Shy Powers. He said that's going to end up being what it says. Not a good deal, and I agree. It's not. You get JJJ, someone who's constantly injured, who's not available more than 60 games out of the year. You know, he hasn't. I haven't seen any playoff games that he's dominated. Where you got Cat, who's won in the West Coast, made it to the finals in the West Coast, made it to the finals in the East Coast. That's not comparable. So I don't like that trade, in my personal opinion. Y'all can give y'all feedback on that. Any feedback on JJJ for you three? Jaren Jackson Jr. You guys like that trade or no?
What was the trade again for Jared Jackson Jr.?
Cat, straight up. Cat for
No.
Okay, thank you. New Knicks.
And I like JJJ. He's tough. He plays good defense.
Is he better
You
than
know,
Cat?
he's out there. The only thing keep it. Nah, he's not better than Cat.
That's what we're talking about. New Knicks. Is Jaren Jackson Jr. better than Cat?
Not no time soon.
Thank you. Even if he was 100%, he's not better than Cat. Cat is right. Cat right now is leading the NBA in rebounds. And he's having a shitty offensive season, and he's leading the NBA in rebounds. So he's helping us get boards.
And I'm gonna say, I don't like his emotionalness, but I think Cat's a better player than Giannis.
We're gonna get to that. My brother. Hey, my brother's. Listen, the road is straight. My brother's taking all the shortcuts. My brother's taking all the shortcuts. He said, "Fuck a red light. I'm running through that." My brother's running all the lights. The other trades I've been seeing is Keontae Ellis, Jose Alvarado. I do agree with some of the, who was it? I think it was Angril who was saying it here about the nostalgic, the buddy in Dallas, who I think salute to CP. CP said it earlier for the kid in Dallas that he just beat us and balled out. I'm trying to get his name, or was it Chris O'Connor? So the kid from Dallas, he's pretty good. He's good. He's a good gritty guy, very aggressive. I don't know what his salary is. He's good if you can get him, but I don't really see what he can bring other than toughness. He's a good scorer, very consistent. He's all right. I like him, but how does he fit? I don't know how he fits. He's doing good in Dallas because Dallas is riddled with injuries. So he's shining right now in a broken team. I don't see where he's been doing that when the team's been winning. So with him, he's okay. He's a possible. I would go after him after Precious, in my opinion. Keontae Ellis, the dude that's been on a poster from Jalen Brunson, I don't see where he did anything that's going to be like, oh my God, bring him over to me. And he's also at the Kings. Alvarado, I like. Alvarado's a dog. Alvarado's definitely a dog. But you can't tell me one thing that Alvarado's going to give us other than hustle and aggressiveness and definitely being a dog. You can't tell me he's got a great three-point shot. You can't show me for him finishing off the glass that he's going to be really good off the glass or something. And I like him. Borinquen, salute to all the freaking Ricans. I'm down with him. I like him. But if I had a choice between Alvarado and Russell Westbrook, I'm just saying, I'm going for Westbrook, in my opinion. Your guys' thoughts on any of those guys? Keontae Ellis, Alvarado.
Bless you.
And any thoughts on those or any other players here? Salute to Luke Skywalker Visions. Appreciate you. So Luke Skywalker says, que lo que? He says Cat might have more skills than the Greek freak, but he's not better. I'm trying to get to these other players out the way. You guys are going right. Right to the shiny object. I'm trying to rule out the other players. Oh my god. Shot Power says, I think mini deals for Jose and Yabu and Padcombe. Listen, I don't think you're wrong on that. I think the little mini deals and other players, I definitely believe is a move. Salute to Shot Powers. I appreciate you. Que lo que. Let's go right to the deal. Let's go right to the main person. We skipped everybody else. Other players are okay. The other players are okay, but there's no real dogs. Unless it's a dog. What New York Knicks need. If you're mentioning any other players, any side players, any players that's not a starter, they must be a dog, and they have to have something that you can count on. A reliable skill. Go ahead.
I'm not opposed. I'm not opposed. Bringing Hardenstein back. Out of all them players, I'd rather have Hardenstein.
Okay. Hardenstein, just keep in mind, Hardenstein's like $30 million. If you mention Hartenstein, you mention Dante, you have to match the money. So if you match the money, that means Mitch is gone. That means
I'm not Dante Tacumbo.
okay, but let's go to that. All right. So the other guys we're probably not going to be able to see or even mess with. iHearts, Dante's. The reality, we're not going to be able to get them till after the season. Unless Dante's a possible. It's a real far chance, but they're winning in Minnesota, so I don't think they're going to break up them winning. If they were losing, you might have a better chance to try to get them. Go ahead.
They say Hardenstein is injured and on the bench.
He is.
So you know what I mean?
But again, that's $30 million. You still have to match his money even if you want to get him. That's Mitchell Robinson. You're throwing at least 6 players to get him. To match money first. You got to match money first. So you're talking about 6 players, 4 players to match that money.
No, I'm talking about the cat trade. If there were
You say you would rather have Iheart than Cat? Wait a minute. If you're saying you're gonna have iHeart than Cat, I need to know what is the bud you smoking on, so we can advertise it.
Who got the ring?
No, but if Cat could bring you in iHeart and Devo, that surpasses one Cat.
OKC went out and got Hartenstein, played with him the year, and got the ring. He got them the ring. We went out and got Cat.
They had the best team. They had the MVP. They had rookies.
You're asking me who I would rather have. Hartenstein has more heart than Cat.
I need this.
And he went and got a ring.
Hold on. I need this on film. I need this evidence. You're telling me.
Ask me who got more heart. Who got more heart?
No. Don't try to sidetrack that with me. Don't try. Who would you rather have? I'm gonna go straight to the point.
He's a winner. I got a point.
Okay.
He's a winner.
Okay, great.
He's a winner.
I'll
got a ring.
I'll give you the point. You got a ring. Now let's cut the bullshit because you trying to dance.
And he's cheaper.
You got tap dance.
And he's cheaper.
You got.
And he's younger.
Listen, you give me the Sammy Davis Jr.
And he can pass. This is good.
Who's better?
Okay, all right. Okay, so my answer my question because you're answering my question with a question.
Right.
I said, does a Hartenstein and a Devo coming in for one Cat? Does that surpass one Cat? Answer my question.
No.
Yes.
Are you dumb?
No.
Are you dumb?
No.
Hartenstein and Devo go surpass the Cat.
No.
Dude, you're getting 2 pit bulls for one German Shepherd. You said it yourself.
I said.
I'd rather have Devo and Hartenstein than Cat.
iHeart's not a big. Hold up, Dwight. So you telling me iHeart's not a bigger? I'm not saying a threat. I'm not saying an offensive threat, but iHeart is a more aggressive player and more of a fucking threat than.
You have me on aggressive. You have me on aggressive, not threat. You have me on aggressive. Aggressive, I'll give you. Threat, no way.
My name is German Shepherd and Pitbull.
Let,
He's
let,
more of a pit than a German Shepherd.
okay,
He's more of a pit. Heart is more of a pit than a German Shepherd. Did I break it down to you like that?
okay.
Is that a better
He
example?
is a better pit. He's more
Is that
aggressive.
a better
I'll
example?
give you the aggressive, but not skill set.
He's more of a pit than
Let
a German Shepherd.
I'll give you that. But however, let's not forget. Let's listen. Sometimes I gotta bring. Let's not forget that Isaiah Hartenstein was not renewed by the Los Angeles Clippers, and we got him as a bench player. We got him as a bench player, okay, who just played up to by learning as an understudy of Mitchell Robinson, and learned from Mitch, who he said he's my brother. I learned a lot from Mitch, who he learned. He got his paper because he learned from Mitch. Hold on, let me cook.
No, no, no. Sorry, your food is ice cold. You cooking with ice, my
He
boy,
didn't say that.
because he learned under Jokic. He learned under Jokic,
Jokic
and
wasn't
he
with the
was
Clippers.
a man. No, I know he played with fucking with Jokic. What's the Joker's name? Ain't that his
He
name?
didn't play with
Jokic.
Jokic. You're talking about the other dude. You're talking about Yusuf Nurkic.
Oh, Hartenstein played, and I'm pretty sure Mike looked that up. Hartenstein played with Jokic.
Listen, he
He played with the
learned.
Clippers. We got him from the Clippers.
He learned. He said it himself. He learned from Mitch. When Mitch went down, he learned from Mitch. Bro, he said it himself. It came from his mouth. He said he learned from Mitch the timing, the defense, and the rebounds. And when Mitch was the number one rebounder last year, I think he was top 4, if I'm not mistaken. Then a Hartenstein came in, and he was doing the same thing. And him and Mitch were both number 4 in offensive rebounds.
My boy, from 2020 to 2021, he played for the Denver fucking
and
Nuggets.
why did he get re-signed with the Clippers?
That's what I'm telling you. He got his best knowledge, is what I'm trying to tell you. When he plays more like Jokic than any other center. So stop. He's a
He
watered
didn't
down
do that.
Jokic. He
He did. He never did that in the Clippers. Like, I agree with you. He played with them. Maybe he didn't do that in the Clippers. He only did that when he was here.
He didn't get a chance with the Clippers because he injured his Achilles. And so he was Achilles. That's why we got him injured. He was just coming off an Achilles injury, remember? And you know when we got him,
no.
when we first got him, we
He
was
said it
being very
himself.
tender with him with his Achilles because he was healing his Achilles, and that's why he didn't play with the Clippers. And we were able to get him off the Clippers.
I'm
And then
pretty
once he
sure.
healed, well, he was healing while Mitch Rob was playing. Then Mitch Rob got hurt, and then he came in and covered for Mitch Rob, and that's how it happened.
Shop.
And then after that, Mitch Rob was here for the year, and Hartenstein played for the rest of the year for Mitch Rob. And that's what you get that he learned from Mitch Rob, but not really because Mitch Rob didn't really play because he was injured. You can't really say that because he couldn't do really. Mitch Rob was
No,
more
no, no,
defensive, where Hartenstein was more offensive
What
rebounder.
did Mitch Rob do?
no.
What? Hold on. Let me
Well,
answer your question.
Mitch Rob couldn't do anything. He was injured.
no, but Mitch, but he's played against Mitch. He throughout the years he played against Mitch, and when he joined
That's
here,
what
he
he
learned
played with.
he learned he learned that getting the rebounds and the toughness and the aggressiveness always go. That's what Mitch is. So Mitch showed him a great example on how to play in Tibbs' system. That's why he's been the longest tenured Nick. That's why he's been here surviving because of his skill set. And so he learned his offensive outside game from Jokic on how to have court vision, shooting the
Hartenstein.
important threes. And the defensive side, he learned it from Mitch.
And the
It's a
offensive
combination of
rebound.
both.
And that's what he learned from Mitch.
Well,
Before.
regardless, my point is I would rather have Hartenstein and DiVincenzo back over Cat. Yeah.
Okay, good. Noted. Listen, you guys heard it. Screen clip. New Knicks and Machete have.
Check it
I'm
out.
trying to
Who
read.
do y'all prefer?
I'm trying to read. I'm trying to.
No. I'm pushing to the chat. Who do
They,
y'all prefer?
some have already answered.
Cat.
So Shot Power says I heart money though. So he's talking about I heart money. That's equal to what you're talking about to get I heart back. Luke Skywalker says I'm taking I heart over Cat any day of the week? Question mark. I don't know if he says he's taking him. He said if Cat was making 35 million, I might take him. So that's he's taking out there. He says iHeart team opt-in is in 2026, 2027 for $30 million. So you guys say that. I'm gonna disagree. That's your opinion. I'm not gonna shoot it down. You guys say it. I'm saying no because we have Isaiah Hartenstein and Mitch, other than the little floater screen, and then we have Dante DiVincenzo and Shaman. We already have those two players right now in this team as is. None of those other players can do half of what Cat does, in my personal opinion. That's just my opinion. So I don't think you're gonna get that equal value with Cat because those two are winning chips. They're winning pieces with a solid foundation already. iHeart was a winning piece, but they already had 4 number 1 picks already there. They already had an MVP. They were already with. That's like adding Kevin Durant.
It's also the intangibles that iHeart brings, bro.
That's like
it's the intangible he brings. He's a 50-50 guy, man. He'll fight for the ball. He'll fight for you guys back.
Then why are they winning right now?
Then
why are they winning right now without him? Then why are they winning right now without iHeart? Why are they winning without him?
They're gonna win with.
If he's that great, why are they winning? Why? Because they don't need him.
How long has he been out? How long has he been out?
He's been out like 2 months because he tore, I think, his thumb or some shit. They've been winning without him.
So you saying that he did? So just because he's out right now, probably because they're well coached, probably because they know how to play together, probably because they've been playing together for the last 2 years.
They have the most number 1 players in the history of the. They have the most number 1 players in the NBA. People talk about OKC like they just fell into these players. They had a plethora of number 1 picks, and they made the trade.
Without our best players, we've been able to play without our center.
We've only had 2 number 3s in our whole
history. We
history.
got Chet Holmgren.
We've had only the number 3.
Chet Holmgren?
I can't hear you. Go.
Is he like the number 2 guy? He's not even like the starter, is he? Is he the starter?
Chet Holmgren is a starter.
iHeart. But is iHeart the starter?
He was when he was playing. As a matter of fact,
he wasn't. He's a starter.
No, I think he was back. I'm sorry, he's backing up Chet Holmgren, so he's a bench player.
Okay, so then he's the backup guy. He's the backup guy. So what are you talking about?
For a bench
he's not
player.
even a starter.
So you want to trade a starter for a bench player?
They're winning without the starter. They're winning without the starter.
No, he's not a starter.
They're winning with the guy on the bench who's the second guy. So what? What's the big deal?
Chet Holmgren is a starter. Isaiah Hartenstein backs him up. They play sometimes as starters, but it's Chet Holmgren as a starter.
So they're winning because they're playing they're playing with their starters. All their starters are playing. That's why they're winning. It has nothing to do with Hartenstein. Hartenstein's a backup guy anyway. So what that he's injured.
My point.
He's a backup guy.
So you'd rather trade a backup guy who's not leading to them winning for our number 2 player in our team. Yeah, that makes sense.
Because he's still got more balls. Because you're talking about Cringer Cat. I'd rather have iHeart versus Cringer Cat.
Okay,
I'd rather have DiVincenzo and iHeart versus Cringer Cat. You get me?
I don't get you, but I understand what
you got. Cringer. We got Cringer. We got Schnarf. We got Schnarf.
Was he that in the first half of the year? Was he Cringer or was he Battle Cat the first half of the year?
Bring him back. Bring him back. Maybe we would be winning. We wouldn't have Cringer Cat.
Listen, again.
Right now he's playing like Cringer Cat, and that's why we're losing.
So when he played last night, when he played against Brooklyn, that he had his stats on there. Was he playing Cringer Cat then, or did he win there? Because he had his points there. He was playing pretty good then.
Yeah, but you're playing Brooklyn, bro.
So Jalen Brunson's 20 and 8. But listen, that's your opinion. I think you guys are bugging
against Brooklyn.
If you're willing
against Brooklyn.
Okay, so let's go to the point because you guys. I heard your point. I definitely disagree with you. Giannis, you guys. That's the trophy everybody's trying to hold. Giannis Antetokounmpo, who's wanting to get out. It looks crazy to make the move. New Knicks, this is your move here. Giannis Antetokounmpo. He looks extremely frustrated. It's probably the best time that you can make a move and go for Giannis. He's frustrated. The team's trying to be reluctant. They're losing more value the longer they hold on to him. You got 2 weeks to trade deadline. First of all, do you go after a Giannis? Not saying who, what moves or anything. Would you go after Giannis as a New York Knicks front office? I'm not saying any players. I'm not saying who. Would this be a time that you would want to strike to get Giannis if you could?
Well, let me give you a little info before you answer that, Mike. From what I overheard, if we don't go after Giannis now, and wait for the summer that we're going to be way over the cap and we won't be able to match the money, which equals that we're going to lose some players. So it's either we go for him right now and keep a majority of our players,
You can't do
or
that.
we wait for the summer and we lose players. I'm just saying for the even swap or whatever the case may be.
You can't you have to match money. So there's no way you can get him and keep majority of the players. That's impossible. All right, you can't match that money. He's making 50 mil. It's $50 million. You can't. You have to always match money or get very close to that money to make it. So let's say we go for it. I think he's a superstar, generational talent. Everybody agrees. He won the title already. He's someone who dominates. He's a dog right off the bat. He's an excellent player. He doesn't have a shooting game. He's pretty much dominant in the paint. I think if it was just him and Jalen Brunson, they would bash heads. I don't think they would work though. It would be just a glorified Julius Randle with Jalen Brunson if you get rid of Cat. I think the only way that works with Giannis is if you have Cat. That even trade doesn't work. So the only way to get Giannis or to if you make that move is to play him with Cat. That's the only way you do it. The only way, and whether Milwaukee wants to do it is give or take. If the only way that when money works and you keep Cat is if you trade. I said it before. You trade OG and you trade Mitchell Robinson. That money is exact money for Giannis. That gives them two phenomenal defensive players. That gives them a top dollar OG player. Now they could flip that into a 3-team trade and get that out there. But you have to. It's either Cat or OG and Mitchell Robinson. That's the movie you got to look at. That's the only way that money works. That's just the money part. That's not making anything else work. So if you got to look at it from Milwaukee's perspective, what would we want? They would want young players. You get good talent and maybe some picks. We don't see Kolek's good, so they can get a good young Kolek to help their team as a rebuild. But I think they would more than likely want to do a soft rebuild where they get good players to fill seats because you can't do a full rebuild with Milwaukee and not anybody come to the arena. You still got to sell tickets. You got to sell money. You got to sell some merch. You're going to want to fill those seats as well. So you can't just do a full rebuild because nobody's going to watch the game for a full rebuild. So in my opinion, I think Milwaukee would want to do a soft rebuild where they still have good players that can be competitive and still sell tickets. And you can do that with an OG and a Mitch and get some other players to make that a good team in the East, in my opinion. So I would think it would have to be OG, Mitch, and other players. Go ahead.
You're still not putting into perspective that the Bucks are not in, like the ball's not in their court. They have an unsatisfied player. You know what I mean? So it's not like they're in control of the trade. You know what I mean? It's either they trade them or they lose them for nothing.
Correct. I agree with you. That's why I said you don't have to give up the farm. That's why a lot of teams, as much as everybody's interested in trading for him, why would I give you 5 first rounds unprotected if he may say next year, you know what, I don't want to play for OKC. And even though he wins or whatever and says I'd rather play. He just bought a $14 million building. He just bought a building in Brooklyn. Where do you think he wants to play? Do you think he wants to play for Brooklyn and have them forever build a team and not be competitive? Or would he want to win one and cement his legacy? He said he's about legacy. He wants to play as a Knick, if we're going to be honest. He has a building he just bought in Brooklyn. He can make investments. He would solidify it. He wants to win here. So if you're able to do that and you can give good picks, good players, maybe not big picks, but you can give them OG and Mitch, or you can get another third team involved that would give them the picks or whatever they want. And you don't think other teams would want OG? You don't think other teams would want Mitch, who's the number one rebounder, who OG is a top defender, and he's proven, as I showed in the thumbnail, that he can get 40 points and be an elite defender, or 3-and-D, which is the most coveted position in the NBA. You don't think there's another team where there's OKC says, you know what, I think we could use him instead of somebody else? So, or LA or whatever. There's other teams that would want our players for those, that they can include a 3-team deal, and then you can still get him, and he would re-sign. And then you go over the second apron after you get him here. Then you re-sign Cat and go over the super apron like Boston's doing with Tatum and Brown. Then you can do these things. So I think you can do that, but the only way that would work is if you keep Cat. You can't get rid of Cat and Giannis and win. That's not going to work. In my opinion, it's not going to work. You could do it with Bridges and OG, but they're not elite at the 3 enough to space that floor like that. They could, but they're gonna be clogging the paint. In my opinion, if you do it, you'd have to do it OG. You have to do it with Bridges. If you include a Deuce, if you had to, I'm saying if you had to, then you can do it. But if you can keep somehow Brunson, Cat, and then Giannis, and then you figure the other shit out, I think that's still a winning recipe where you can still compete for a championship this year, and everybody else that's a veteran would come for the vet minimums next year if you can keep those three, in my opinion. You guys. Go ahead, y'all was with the Giannis, New Knicks. Here's your boy.
Well, I would do the straight up Cat for Giannis, and maybe throw in a Mikal Bridges and Tyler Kolek.
Wait,
I would give him a
Coke?
Cat. I would give him a Jordan Clarkson. I would give him Yabusele.
You go Mike Brown. You throw a Mike Brown with it too.
No, Mike Brown.
And you keep that's the
Mike
first
Brown
one.
for
That's the first one on the Spirit Airlines. No luggage, one-way flight.
I'm not giving up Mitch Rob. I'm not giving up Deuce. I'm not giving up Mitch Rob. I'm not giving up
You
Deuce.
would rather give Cat and keep Mitch and Deuce for Giannis. Damn.
Fuck yeah.
Yo, whatever. Listen, I don't smoke no more. But I might ask whatever you niggas are smoking on to puff pass, bro. Because if I'm not, hold on. Because in the same show, you guys said you would rather I Heart and Dante over Cat. Then you said you would rather Mitch and Deuce over Cat. I don't know what's happening.
If you're talking about going after Giannis, I'm not giving. If you're talking about going after Giannis, but if you're talking about going after Hart, I would rather go after Hartenstein and DiVincenzo and keep Cat and not go after Giannis. If we're not going to go after Giannis, let's try to go get Hartenstein and DiVincenzo. I've been saying that. I would bring them back. Bring at least those two guys back.
Right. The thing is that's too much money. That's number one. The only reason why I would choose, like I said, Cat is a way more skilled player than Giannis. But what wins Giannis over Cat is that Giannis plays with pride and Giannis plays aggressively. You feel what I'm saying? And he doesn't play scared. He can play, I mean? So I'd rather someone that comes and plays with pride and aggressiveness, even though he's going to clog up the paint, but I'd rather have that because he's learning. He got a little mid-range. You know what I mean? I'm not saying he'll shoot the three, but at the end of the day, we don't need.
You will give up. So you will give up Mitch Rob and OG?
No, hell no.
Fuck
no,
yeah.
I'm just saying.
Hell yeah.
Just a Cat and not to Kumpo straight up trade. Maybe give them 2 picks. Maybe give them 2 picks, Washington's picks or whatever. If they want 3 picks, nothing too crazy. But I'm not giving up none of my players. You know what I mean? I'd rather give a future asset and trade player for player, however the numbers work.
Listen.
But Cat fits more into what we got going on than Giannis does. But the minus aggressiveness, the emotional situations, like, you know what I mean?
All that shit,
Up and down,
Hey, first of all,
that what?
Salute exposing the true 5188. First time in the chat. Appreciate you. Hopefully you subbed. All right, we appreciate you so you can check in. Salute to you. David Smith is losing his effing mind. We're talking about trading Cat. Giannis is complaining about teammates. So if you blow up the team, like who's he gonna play with? He's definitely gonna want that. He says trading Cat is idiotic. Luke Skywalker says Giannis and Mitch are not a good fit. I agree. They're both clogging the paint and do nothing, so you have to get rid of them. You can't re-sign Mitch. You'll be wasting him, so you have to trade Kitch. He has to be included if you're even talking about that. But if you're talking about him, ideally, which I don't know how it would work, which is possible, if you can go for Giannis, for OG, Mitch, maybe Deuce if I had to with Washington's first, I would do that. This let me. This is my scenario. I'm gonna give you my ultimate scenario right now for this year. My ultimate scenario, if it's available, right? Because it's a generational talent. I don't want to, but if I had to, as a front office, if I had to, generational talent is willing to go. I would trade OG and Mitch if I had to. Maybe Deuce and maybe a Washington first if I had to. If he's gonna commit to resign, I would do that. You get Giannis, you keep Cat. My opinion. I'm just doing this. You still got Mitch. You still got Jalen Brunson. You still got Josh Hart. You move that. Hold on, and then I would do. And then hold on.
We keeping Cat.
And you keeping Cat.
We keeping Cat.
Keeping Cat. So you still have Jalen Brunson, Giannis, and Cat. You still got them. You still got Josh Hart. You still got Bridges. Okay. That's just me. I'll do that. You get rid of Deuce, get maybe the Washington first pick. You move that out, and then I'm going to Sacramento, and I'm giving them Kolek. I'm giving them Dadier. I'm giving Yabusele 2 to 4 second rounders, and I get back Russell Westbrook and Precious Achua, and then that is my championship for the next 3 tiers. That's it. You're talking about you got Jalen Brunson, you got Mikal Bridges. You got Josh Hart, you got Giannis, and you got Cat. You're starting 5. Then you would have Russell Westbrook. Then you would have Clarkson. You have Precious Achua, and whatever else you fill the blanks with. Whether it's you got McCullard, whether you still got Dink Pate, you still got Diawara. You got more than enough 10 players, which are probably going 7-8 anyway in the playoffs. And you're talking about championship this year, next year, and possibly the third. And that money works. Right? Huh?
We still got Deuce, right?
No. More than I'm saying worst case. If they want Deuce to make that move, you do it. If you have to. If you can keep Deuce, obviously, ideally, you do it. But if you can get Giannis a generational talent, I'm saying if they wanted it. I'm saying if they did like what Minnesota said, that we're not doing this trade unless we get Dante, you may have to do it, because guess what? You have to pay Deuce next year, and you got to pay Mitch next year. So do you pay them, or can you get a generational talent? Because you got to make that decision anyway. Deuce is owed money this upcoming year, and Mitch. So do you keep them and sign them, or can you get a generational talent? So you have to pay them coming up. Deuce took the super discount, $3 million for like 3 years. You have to pay them next year. So do I pay them, or can I get this superstar talent is going to take me? And I'm not saying I don't love Deuce.
Listen, when the discrepancy first popped up at the beginning of the year with Antetokounmpo and the Bucks, I was all for it to bring him in if he's going to join Cat and fucking and Brunson and the rest of the cats, because right. Even like my brother said, with that you're not good. There's nothing that can stop that ever. Like it's gonna be about good 5 years. That's gonna be and you gotta understand, when you bring that nucleus in, there's other players that's gonna want to come in just off of the strength. You know what I mean? Niggas that's making 40 mil. Yo, I'll take 2 million. Like, you feel what I'm saying? The rest of the shit is gonna come, but if you do bring Giannis here to join the forces of,
this is the goal.
Boy,
this is the goal. This is the goal, and it's this name. And that's what I'm saying. If you can do it right now,
that's something.
If I gotta include my 30-30, my 30-32 first round pick, whatever it is, if you gotta include the unprotected, like, this is the point. Like when do you do it? If we waited 51 years, if you can do it now and keep Cat's a piece, and whether you go for Giannis or not, whether people like it or not, Cat is a championship piece. You don't win the chip without Cat. I'm sorry to tell you. I'm here to break the news. I don't care who you get, whether it's Ihar, whether you get Dante, you get 3 Dantes, whatever it is. Cat is a championship piece. He is the piece to win it for you. Everything else is you're adding to that. And emotional, not emotional, that's up to the coach to get him out of his feelings. That's up to the dogs, the teammates, to get him out of his feelings. That's where the Russell Westbrooks come in, and the other players, the dogs that are going to spark that chip. That's why he was scoring 30 and 10, and Dante came and hit those 7 threes and fought with his reigning man, Miles Turner, because he was getting in the, we had that dog to get us back. When Embiid was talking that shit and fouling and tripping Mitch, it was Dante. right? So you need those players to get the team and rile them up. But you can't replace 30, 14, and 5. You can't replace that with ancillary pieces. You can't do that. Giannis gives you 30, 20, and 5. That's almost Cat numbers. The only player that's close to Giannis is Cat and Jokic. So you're trading 2 for nothing. It's the same thing. They're giving you the same thing. So if you're gonna do it and you can make that move right now, where he could just say, I'm not signing with any other fucking team because I want to be in New York because I just bought a fucking building in Brooklyn. I'm probably gonna buy the block. It's there. Now it's up to the players who are like, yo, I'll give you every first round from now till when my grandkids come out, and you take Mitchell Robinson, you take Deuce, and you take OG, you take Washington's first, and maybe a second. That's definitely a respectable trade, bro. Definitely respectable.
That lineup is guaranteed 5 chips.
And then you get dogs.
There's no ifs and buts about it.
If you can get him with those players, the money matches. And then if you can get Russell Westbrook and Precious, the money is exactly what we have right now. If you make those moves, it's exact. You're not even going to the second apron this year. You only go to the next year when you got to sign both them two to a supermax million. Supermax for both of them. And Cat would more than likely take next year less so you can pay Giannis a supermax. Because he's still young enough to be like, you know what? Give Giannis a supermax. I'll take 175. I already got my 250. He's still getting paid 50 this year, 60 the year after that, 60 after that. So you give Giannis a supermax. I'll take a little less because you've seen Brunson do it. And then when it's Cat's turn after that, then he'll get you know what I mean? You can be in the super luxury tax, and then you're winning. Then it's a whole different ballpark. But you have to keep Cat included in this. Is that 2 shots or is that my brother's second phone? I don't even know what's happening right now. That's just my opinion. Phone. If you're gonna go for Giannis, if you're gonna make a move, you do it where you match the money. It has to be OG. Has to be. You have to.
You got 2 lines open.
Close your other phone, bro. You get. That's not.
No, my phone just died.
Okay, all right. I'll probably turn off in a second. Anyway, that's just to me how you would make the move. You can't do that move. A Cat. People that are including Cat, first of all, that's no loyalty. You got to do that's willing to play here, who's always pointing to the jersey. Yes, he has his area opportunities. Yes, he can be soft and complain. You know what I'm saying? But you don't just get rid of someone like you. When your kid's getting D's in school, you don't just say, fuck that nigga, he's a dumbass. You know what I'm saying? You got to teach your kid. You got to do the homework. You got to give him, you know what I'm saying? You got to spend an extra hour with him, figuring out you know what I'm saying? You just got to work with the people. You got to put the right player. And that's the coaching thing. What's happening now is a coaching and player thing, and that's workable. It worked for the first half of this season. It worked for all of last year. So for 11 games, it's not working, and now we just want to get rid of him? That's crazy to me. I understand, but
During the trade line, you know what I mean? When trade, that's when everything started. So, man, these young cats is too fucking emotional, bro.
This is your best chance. This is the best chance to get Giannis right now. Next summer, you're fucked. Next summer, forget about it, because then he could be whatever. It's going to be tougher next year for you to get him. Right now, they're crashing. Milwaukee's almost in a desperate situation because he's crashing out. He's fighting with there's a lot of drama right now. So right now, they got to make a move because the team ain't happy. The players ain't playing for him. The fans are already over him. They're booing him. Right now is your chance. The iron is right now. Right now is your chance to strike. And he can say, I'm not going to sign with nobody but New York. Talk to his agent. Make whatever move you got to make. Right now, you got to do it. So that's why I was saying the front office has to make a move. The little ancillary pieces are right. But right now, you go all in for whatever you can for Giannis. Whatever you can do for it, minus a Cat, minus a Brunson. Anything but Brunson, Cat, and Josh, because Josh is Brunson's dude. And even Bridges, but really it's Josh. Josh is his guy. I mean, obviously you try to keep it out if you can for Bridges, but whatever to keep these players going. If I can keep Brunson and Cat and Josh, everything else is on the table, right? Then you get Buddy, whatever you figure out after that. And then if you get these other players that I mentioned, you're still competing this year. You're still winning a chip. And then you can play. Anything. You can't have Giannis and Brunson by themselves. That's a glorified Randall and Brunson all over again. They don't space the floor. They both need to paint. No one's spreading the paint. Now you're relying on Bridges and OG to space the floor, who haven't done a great job so much this year. They're inconsistent. You can't really count on them. Then you're going to put all the weight on Shamit. Is the only 3-point scorer like we did on you know what I mean? So I don't know. That's just me.
I definitely agree. That's like a power move to really solidify the name of the Knicks within the NBA realms for years and years and years to come. That will be like, listen, they just gotta tune into the TOF, the Organics Fanatics show, and they can get this kind of input. Feel what I'm saying? There's already a few people tuned in, so the word should get out. And listen, if we done playing around and it's man time and you really want to fucking rock the city and make a power move, hey, throw in Mike Brown in the deal. Fuck it. They'll coach themselves.
We'll see. And we'll see.
Yeah, it sounds like a good plan. We'll see what happens. But I gotta check out, guys.
No, we out here. We're closing it out anyway. So
I gotta get ready for work.
Machete, do your outro. Everything else we'll bring up on Sunday.
Everybody, we'll see what happens tomorrow. Tomorrow Saturday we got a play in Philly, so hopefully we'll see if we're gonna do this turnaround. Because this Brooklyn game was just, it was a nice win. It's a nice win, but we'll see what happens in the next two games. I'm really looking forward to that. But you guys have a good night. Bless you. Stay warm out there. We got a storm coming. Everybody buckle down. Get ready. Do your shopping. Fill up your gas and get your batteries ready. You guys in Florida may not feel it, but.
Hey, shout out to the chat. Shout out to Machete for showing out. Shout out to my brother for QBing the thing, setting us up. And shout out to the chat for the knowledgeable chat out here rocking with us. Shout out to the replay gang. Shout out to Two Shots. Shout out to Mike the Specialist. Shout out to everybody. The Knicks. Listen, Saturday, tomorrow, we got a game. Let's focus. Let's win by 54 better. If y'all do that, then I know we're in the right trajectory, all right? Stop balling.
Appreciate Machete coming out here, brother. Appreciate you, primo, hermano. New Knicks always holding it down, even when he can't do it. He always does it when he's down his Papa Chic out there. Salute to the chat, the dopest chat. David Smith, I'm going to get some of that on Sunday. We'll be back Sunday to see what happens. Luke Skywalker Vision. Salute to Exposing the Truth 5188. First time. Hopefully you're subscribed and hit that bell notification because we come.
Yeah, like and subscribe, everybody.
Appreciate you guys here. Sean Powers. Appreciate you for joining us here. Psych Lee, appreciate you, my brother. Angro1, appreciate you for joining. Nostalgic, everybody in the chat. Salute to your M Special. Everybody out there, appreciate Daniel Berry Sports.
Shout out to all the new people in the chat. Make sure you like, make sure you subscribe, make sure you spread the word. We're trying to get a 500. Let's see if we do it after the All-Star break. We're trying to get the merch out to you and get some upgrades going. So like that, you know what I mean?
We're on our way to 50,000. Tell a friend to tell a friend. We're on our way to 50,000. Appreciate you guys here. Let's go Knicks. We got a game tomorrow. Brooklyn was okay.
Go Knicks. Let's go into Philly and punch him back in the face.
Brooklyn was okay, but we need a W. I need a dominant game, a statement game. Philly must be a statement game. We're going to be back Sunday, which is Saucy Smoke 'em Sober Sunday. We'll see you guys Sundays 5 p.m., Fridays 5 p.m., Sundays 5 p.m., sometimes 7, depending if we're taking care of our kids out here, about 7 p.m. Actually, Sunday 7. We'll see you then.
Smell it?
You guys. You heard?
The victory for the win.
Let's get it. You heard? All right, we out.
New York City. New York, If the Knicks is in the Mecca, yeah, let me hear you give it up. The Knicks is in the Mecca, yeah, let me hear you give it up. The Knicks is in the Mecca, yeah, let me hear you give it up. The Knicks is in the Mecca, yeah, let me hear you give it up. We back. This is New York City, home of the Knicks, baby. Yeah, we back on track. The Mecca's going crazy. Rim rocking, shot blocking, boy, we are not stopping. Aiming at that chip with a bullseye on the target. It's been so many years, that's how bad we really want it. From the city to the garden, we all be blue and orange. And
minute remaining. Brunson at three. Bang!